on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets.
Hey, what's up, Pharaoh? I didn't work at Bethesda with typical people. My clothes are stuck in a washing machine.
All alone.
Oh, let me get mine. No, you're fine. Trust me, I can't go. What you say?
You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G.
Yeah, it's gonna be a quick show. There was not many topics.
I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G. Got what you need. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Tryna run the town. Tell no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as the head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, then we talk all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Check it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right up the seat. How could they be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see this start crumbling now. Mad struck start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock blitz, know they love how it freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top, just to form a warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the gang, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Link up with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them bills on the duty. I'm in Stixie, I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card, cause one of your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. To reload the clip and record the clip is go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tuned into that VGP. Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Vitamin G podcast. I am your host, Pharaoh, and with me today, I do have, looks like we're going to be rolling with Nappy and Jube. Let me get their bottom bars up. Neither one has a camera today. So we're going to do this. There we go. Got a little bottom bar action. Yeah, let's kick it off with Jube, because Nappy's having some technical difficulties right now. So, Jube, man, how you been? What you been playing? Yeah, for sure. Okay. Okay. What you moving on to next? Yeah. All right. I'm all expedition after tonight. Yeah, I'm all after tonight. I'm all expedition 33, man. I'm not even gonna hold you. Cannot wait for that one. So that's cool. That's cool. How was your Easter? On Easter? Hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely know what you mean there. Um, yeah. Yeah, my Easter was kind of interesting. We had a little Easter egg hunt on Saturday, mixed with a birthday party at my aunt's house, and then Sunday my wife had an Easter event planned, but my oldest son, he's not a fan of Easter, like the Easter egg hunts and all that other stuff. So he didn't want to go. Um, and he's developed a disdain because he always feels like he ends up with less eggs than everyone else. So we ended up at the sports bar watching the games, and they went and did the Easter thing, and then we went home and watched Star Wars Episode 3 because he's just getting into Star Wars. So he was like, I don't want to watch Anakin turn into Darth Vader. I like him as Anakin. I said, I know, me too. But so we finished episode 3 and we started the first episode of Obi-Wan. And he's also picked up Fallen Order. So he started playing. Yeah, he's liking Fallen Order so far. He's like, why doesn't Cal Custis have a show? And like he's ready to like take off kneecaps if he doesn't get a Cal Custis show. So yeah, good stuff. Uh yeah, he's having a good time with it. But other than that, I've just been playing South of Midnight. I have gotten back into Madden, and I've gotten back into Madden for solely one reason. And that is because you know how they do these seasons now. I just never took the time to get a top 100 badge. So I'm just getting one top 100 badge just so I can have one for the year, because I always make the top 100 in Madden. So I was like, let me just get it for a season. Only got to play it for like 10 days and I'm good. So I am at top 100 status, but I think I need like I don't know because I haven't done it before. I think I need like, I don't know, let's say I need about, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say like 200 more points to lock it in. 1 second. Yeah, season ends in like 10 days. Um, so uh so yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. I made it to chapter 6 of South of Midnight, and I'm really enjoying South of Midnight, and I don't necessarily like want to rush through it. I know it's a shorter game. Like I probably could have beat it this weekend if I really wanted to. But I'm just kind of taking it a chapter at a time, and I'm not really rushing the experience. Um yeah, I heard chapter 6 is really heavy. 1 second. But yeah, so I've been kind of slow playing through that. I just beat Two Toe Tim. I got one of the rare achievements for beating him without taking any damage. Yeah. I mean, it's not hard. Uh that is an achievement though. Um so I did that, and uh what else did I do in that game? That's it. I think that's like one of the rare achievements that I got in the game. And no, it's actually not hard. It's just like if you but it's not hard, but you got to kind of be intentional about it because it's easy to take damage, but he's not a hard boss where the damage is like frustratingly hard to avoid. Like you're not gonna like, it's not like, God dang it, like this is some shit. Like no, it's not like that at all. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to pushing through. I know the game like only has like 3 or 4 really long chapters after the point that I'm at. I know it's a bunch of like really short chapters mixed in there. So I'm pretty much like midway point end of the game. So so I'm not gonna rush through it. I probably will like start doing after. I'll probably finish chapter 6 tomorrow. But I do need to finish it in time for Excalibur 2033 because I felt like one of those 2 games might just end up being like, you know, kind of like game of the year material for me. I don't think South of Midnight will critically make game of the year because the reviews were kind of hard on it. They treated it like it was a AAA game because Xbox made it. But I think I think Expedition 33 is going to be given a lot of grace, and because it's given a lot of grace, I do think that there is a opportunity that it does very, very well, and it does get that game of the year contention. If any Xbox game gets a game of the year nominee, Doom is possible, but I don't think so because Doom Eternal got it. I would say Ninja Gaiden 4. Because the reason I lean Ninja Gaiden 4 specifically is because the reason I would lean that game specifically is because it's been out of mind's view for such a long time. So if it hits, it's gonna carry a certain amount of hype along with it. It's funded by Xbox, but not made by Xbox, so it doesn't necessarily carry that same level of Xbox tax. It's everywhere. I kind of feel like that's the game that would get the Game of the Year nominee. But at the same time, if there was any year that Xbox was going to win Game of the Year, it would be this one with how light Nintendo and Sony's offerings are this year. Like there's no Sony game or Nintendo game to really steal their shine when you really think about it. So I think there's a possibility Xbox should win Game of the Year this year. If it doesn't, then yeah, the Game Awards are kind of rigged because they have a lot of quality games. Like who are they competing against? The only game they're competing against
is
Split
Fiction.
Split Fiction and Grand Theft Auto.
Well, yeah, Split Fiction is a good game.
I would say those are the only 2 games that they're currently competing against. I don't think any other game has come out this year that would be Game of the Year. I won't say worthy, but would get the Game of the Year type nod. Because like as big as Monster Hunter is, the type of game that it is, typically live service games don't generally get that type of nomination.
A good live service game.
It is a good live, but there's been other good live service games, and they don't really get that type of nomination.
You literally get half the content for free, and they do one DLC that gives you half of the updated quest. And once they add something in, like crossovers, they stay there forever.
Oh,
that matters.
Believe me, I'm 100% there with you. But I just know that for at least the Keighley event, live service games don't typically get a lot of love. I think the last live service game to get Game of the Year was Overwatch, and I think that just is because it kind of just came onto the scene hot. Like, think about it. Even as big as Fortnite is, Fortnite didn't get Game of the Year ever. Like, I mean, you think about some of the biggest some of the biggest, most successful games. Minecraft, greatest selling game of all time, never got Game of the Year. Like it's just, it's like, it doesn't matter how good these live service games are. For some reason, they're exempt from Game of the Year a lot of times.
It's because a lot of these people don't play games, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Xbox has a good chance. I mean, they should have at least 2 or 3 nominations, and then it should be Split Fiction and Grand Theft Auto. I don't think Assassin's Creed is going to get that type of love. It doesn't seem like
Does it deserve that kind of love? And I think
media.
it does. But...
I think the
I mean, it does, but there was so much like conflict with it.
Yeah,
that it's sad the conflict overshadowed the greatness of the game. Like, people judged the game before it even came out.
Yeah, I would say that the community that dictates who wins Game of the Year will not give the game its due and give it the nomination that it probably deserves. Like, kind of like a Hogwarts Legacy situation.
yeah.
Am I saying that it is definitively Game of the Year? No, but I'm saying, it's as of right now, it's probably warrants a nomination of, what's released this year. So I can see that one making it. Yeah. Xbox should have a strong chance at winning a Game of the Year this year. Not saying they will. I don't know if I know Grand Theft Auto. See, that's with these big games. It's hard to tell with these big games because big games don't get their due when it comes to Game of the Year nomination. It's usually like kind of medium-sized games. Like, they're still large, but in the grant, like, if you look at like the biggest games in the industry, it's usually the medium-sized games that, like your Final Fantasies or your Elden Rings or God of Wars. They're medium-sized games relative to the Minecrafts and Fortnites and Robloxes of the world. Those are the ones that get the nominations, not a big game like. Did Grand Theft Auto 5 win Game of the Year?
But let's Google that actually.
I don't think it did.
It should have. Literally.
The GTA 5 win.
If it didn't, that's criminal. That tells me Keighley is.
It has the Game of the Year edition. No, Last of Us won Game of the Year. No, it did not. Last of Us won Game of the Year over Grand Theft Auto.
GTA 5 wins game. Wait, no, they said what's Golden Joystick Award?
That's a different award show. It's not the Keighley Awards. There's Golden Joystick, there's DICE, and there's the Keighley Awards.
Yeah, it won Game of the
BAFTA
Year
and stuff too.
Yeah, BAFTA.
Yeah, these are all 2013. God damn, there was a lot of different award shows. VGX.
Yeah, there was a lot more award shows back then. BAFTA, Satellite, Academy, Game Developer Choice, Play Legit, Spike.
Interesting. Someone said across all the Game Award shows back in 2013, GTA 5 won 163 Games of the Year awards across all the Game Award shows. It won 163. That's interesting.
But it didn't win Keighley's. So
yeah. So I guess
even though it should have.
Keighley's is the only one that matters.
Keighley's is the only one that people care about. But I don't think I don't think it was necessarily Keighley's yet. He may have been running the show, but I'm not sure if he owned. I think he bought it from Spike.
He did.
Yeah.
It was on Spike TV.
Yeah, it was the Spike TV, the Spike Video Game Awards became the Keighley Awards. So, so for the Spike Awards, it did win Game of the Year.
Interesting.
But I was looking at this. I'm on Reddit now. I'll see what this Reddit post says. Because we're looking more than a decade back. Oh,
Yeah.
according to IGN, Last of Us won Game of the Year, but GTA won it on the Spike Awards.
Yeah, GTA won a bunch of awards back.
Yeah.
You would think that there was not this many game award shows back in 2013, especially how popular gaming was back in the day to compare it to now. But
Yeah, Golden Joystick
hey,
Awards, it did not win Game of the Year. It won PC Game of the Year.
that's still good.
MTV, it won Game of the Year. Let's
MTV
see.
did video game awards. Huh.
They did.
Yeah.
MTV had their hands in many pots, and that you don't see that now. But
Yeah,
I'm
they
just
fucked
going
up a
with
lot.
the big names that we kind of know of. GDC Choice Awards, it won. No, it was a
And
nominee.
VGX,
It was a
and no one cares
nominee,
about
but it
VGX.
wasn't. Yeah, GDC, it wasn't. It was a nominee. It didn't win. And then Academy of Interactive Arts, it was a nominee, didn't win.
what won instead?
It doesn't tell me the winners. It just tells me about the awards. I'm on IMBD and it just tells me the awards that particular game won.
Okay.
So it doesn't tell me who actually won that I can click. Which one did you asked me about the ones that it was nominee for?
VG.
Yeah.
Well,
Game
yeah, there's a lot of them.
You talking about
It was
GDC
a lot of
award
nominees.
for the GDC awards 2010, 2013. It was let's look it up. Game of the Year was Journey in 2013. Let me go to 2014 because that doesn't even sound right. Let's go to 2014.
Man.
Game design, best narrative, Last of Us, best technology, visual. Game of the Year was Last of Us. Okay, so the year that GTA was nominated, it was Last of Us that won for the GDC. So,
Okay. The first Last of Us?
Yeah, the very first one.
Okay.
So you see what I'm saying? Like, there's a chance that Grand Theft Auto gets overlooked for Game of the Year for whatever reasons that these people choose to give. And plus, we don't know when Grand Theft Auto is releasing. It may release in the window where it would be eligible for next year's Game of the Year awards, which is kind of what I'm thinking Xbox is trying to avoid with Fable and State of Decay and all that. I think they kind of want Fable to get a Game of the Year nomination and have a chance to win it. But oh no, it's gonna be interesting.
Facts.
For sure. We can get back on track. Let's see. Let me change show topics. Oh, I fucked up again. I didn't put the show topics in the thing. All right, well, fuck it. It was kind of impromptu. I was trying to get a show together. The panel was kind of slow on deciding topics, but it's all good. We're here. We're gonna have a good show.
We tried.
Yeah.
We try to look up topics.
So.
I mean, we can talk about the Switch's price being unchanged for pre-orders on Thursday.
Yeah, we can talk about that right now, and
that.
we can talk about that right now and what's on your mind. So, yeah, the Switch price remained the same, but
accessories went up.
They supercharged the price of accessories by quite a bit. Some products were up like a good 20-30%. The damn carrying
tariff.
That webcam, that 480p webcam.
No, I think the 1080p webcam is cheaper than the 480p one.
I don't think so. I think the 1080p one is $60.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was more expensive because it had the flower thing. And it's kind of stupid. It's kind of stupid that they don't have a flower thing with 1080p. That's kind of. Like what?
Bro, I'm saying, because, like, bro, why is this little bullshit camera not 1080p, bro?
Well, why isn't 1080p just the
Like,
standard and one is the flower, one is the
who
because
is using 480p camera? Like, bro, like, if no, if the
Bro,
Piranha
with the
Plant
beginning
camera
of
was the only
YouTube,
camera available,
I am
I would
telling you,
100% jump on board.
I
If it was the only camera there at 1080p, I'm buying that Piranha Plant camera, because why not?
yeah, I guarantee you that people when they see the flower one, they're gonna assume that that's the better camera because it kind of looks more appealing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So people are gonna assume that's the better camera if they don't check the price. You know, they're just gonna be like, "Oh, that one looks better. I'm gonna buy this one," and they're not gonna buy like the standard camera. It's kind of interesting. The damn carrying case is like $90 though. Like,
yeah, the carrying case is actually the only thing that the carrying case went up by $5 to 90. Looks like carrying case plus screen protector went up. Oh, a screen protector alone is $40 just for a screen protector. Jesus. Looks like the Nintendo Switch dock set had went up $10, which is honestly the most expensive upgrade. Everything else is $5 across down the line.
Joy
Now
Cons
a
are
set of
expensive. Yeah, sorry.
Joy-Cons are already expensive. The original price for the Joy-Con 2s were $90. The new price is now $94.99.
Yeah,
Damn, $100 controller Joy-Con controllers.
yeah.
That's
They
basically
like
$100 if you add on tap.
the Joy Cons are more expensive than the damn Pro controller.
Yeah. I
No,
mean,
the Pro controllers, yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah,
$85 now.
yeah. That's what I'm
This
saying.
is
Like
crazy.
it's the pricing is crazy. And uh, the thing is like, I mean, I know the first wave is gonna sell because the people who want it, who are really those Nintendo heads, if they want it, they're gonna buy it. But it's just gonna be interesting what the market tells Nintendo because like, are you really gonna take this pricing? Like, are you serious? Like $80, $90 for games, um, outrageously priced accessories. It's I mean, they're really price gouging those customers, and it's not a premium product. As far as the type of hardware that you're purchasing, it's not premium hardware. You're not buying, you know, um, some type of high end unique experience that's like setting the standard in
Um,
handheld gaming. I mean, it's a quality device, but it's not, you know,
I
anything.
still want to see the teardown of the Switch 2, which we can't find. And every time people ask them what are the exact specs inside the Switch 2, crickets.
Well, you're not gonna get that
I
until after post release, so you're gonna be waiting till like June 14th for that. Um,
Yeah, I know. I have a feeling that the Switch 2 isn't as powerful as they made it seem.
it probably isn't. And
Like if they were so powerful, they would show the specs.
and then I saw something else that was crazy where they're not allowing anyone outside of Japan to do save transfers for the Zelda games. So if you're in Japan,
We
you can transfer your file from Switch to Switch 2, but if you're anywhere else in the world, you can't. You just got to start your Legend of Zelda all over again on the Switch 2. So, I mean, it's just certain things where it's just like you're not really catering to your customer, and even you're not catering to your largest customer bases, which is the US and Europe. They purchase more Switches than any, segment of your Japanese consumer base. So, uh very, very interesting. I'll say that much. It's very interesting. I don't get it. You know,
yeah, yeah.
it's
Interesting.
it,
I'll just tell you that.
I just yeah, it's just very interesting how they're deciding to do this, and it's interesting how um we are so hard on certain companies for what they do, and they're way more consumer friendly than Nintendo has ever been. But this is it's just kind of bad across the board how the launch of this Switch is looking thus far from just how they're treating their consumers, not anything else. But yeah. I know Jubei wanted to kind of lean into talking about Halo, but I think we can kind of talk about that, wrap that into the Minecraft topic. Anything else you guys
Yeah.
wanted to hit on?
I think the biggest thing with Nintendo though is like it's not so much their anti like yes they're anti-consumer. They have been like when they literally refused to allow people to buy shit off of their store before they closed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they cut off purchases well before that store closed. And like I just don't care, do you?
Nope.
But
No, they don't. They got
the
no
thing
shame.
is, Nintendo has an ace in the hole because they've done nothing but delivered quality games. Their first party and that attachment rate on that first party is
I mean,
absolutely insane.
they've always had a high
Yeah.
they've always had a high attach rate on hardware. I mean, from hardware to software, they've always had a high attach rate. But I won't necessarily say that they've always sold well based on their ability to deliver. If we look,
I'm not talking about selling consoles. I'm literally just talking about the games, the quality of game.
yeah, they have a high
There's a reason why there's like 50 million Mario Karts. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like there's a reason behind that.
yeah. I'm not denying that. Part of that beyond them delivering on games is also that for a while nobody really developed from a third party perspective on their platform. Like
So they had to. Their first party had to do the things.
yeah, so like, well, if you bought a Nintendo, you were locked into buying Nintendo games because third party wasn't really gonna support the cartridge, the cartridges and all that other stuff. That's why Nintendo 64. I mean, it did have some third party support, but it wasn't anything like PlayStation or Sega was getting at the time. And then when Xbox came on the scene, Xbox was pretty much a carbon copy of the games library that PlayStation had. So, from as far as third party support went, so it's just like, but now Nintendo is gonna be, for the first time, they're gonna have third party competition on their own platform. Like, do you really want to buy Mario Kart or do you want to play Call of Duty? Like, whatever. There's going to be competing games. Do you really want to play Mario or do you want to play Final Fantasy? Do you really want to play, Legend of Zelda or do you want to play Sonic? Like, it's going to be more options than Switch gamers have previously had in the past as far as the type of titles that they're getting now. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works. But also something I wanted to bring up was that if we look from Nintendo 64 all the way, now we're coming to Switch 2, like Nintendo has done really well with one console and they've done really bad with the next console. And then they've done really good. Like, so N64, great. GameCube wasn't so great.
No, N64 did not sell as well as people think. It was actually a flop.
Yeah, I'm about to say N64 was actually the struggle console. GameCube bounced back at the very last minute.
Yeah,
and I mean very last minute.
But GameCube itself didn't do great. It was the handhelds that was carrying Nintendo, and then the console took off when the Wii came out.
Yep.
And then the Wii U flopped, and then now we have the Switch.
People were confused. They were like, "I have Wii at home."
Yeah. And then
yeah. It turned, but the Wii U did have better hardware, which is unfortunate because it actually
the Wii U
some
had
decent games
more,
on there.
The Wii U had more 1080p 60 games than any other console that gen.
Yeah. And
then
that's
a sad part.
That's a sad part.
Yeah.
And it had great Wi-Fi chip too. Like that Wi-Fi for the time when it came out, that Wi-Fi chip was actually pretty impressive. Especially since you had to stream directly from the dock to the Switch. They made sure that technology worked.
Yeah. So Wii U didn't do well, and then Switch, took off. So I mean, like we have a history that shows that Nintendo doesn't always do great. they've dominated handhelds, but now handhelds are more competitive than they've ever been. And
But they're the only company that can get away with selling the same games for full price over and over and over again. Like
yeah,
you
because
don't do
Yeah,
that
they really are.
because Nintendo has always done
without the games being worth it.
well. One, yes, the games do have to be worth it, but two, you place yourself in a position where you're not competing against your competitors in a sense. Like I said, there's not a lot of third party. The type of games they make are very different from what their competitors make. And like in a lot of cases, if you look, I'm not talking about Japan. Japan is a different beast. But if you look in Europe and the US, Nintendo for the longest time has been a secondary console for most people. So most people, they buy a Switch or an N64 or a GameCube, and it's their secondary console, and they buy that console specifically to buy those unique experiences that they can't get on their primary platform.
Facts.
But the audience that love those type of games is getting older, and it's just going to be interesting to see how long Nintendo can remain what it is. Because like I said, I think the audience that really was purchasing those Switches are going to be transitioning to Fire tablets, because I think a lot of it was kids. And I don't think a lot of parents are going to be willing to cough up $450 for a handheld that's very easy to break.
Yeah.
Especially when Joy-Con replacements are fucking $90 now.
$90, and you can't buy a Joy-Con. You got to buy the pair.
Yeah, so you're paying. So imagine like you break your Joy-Cons twice a year, 3 times a year. Like, oh, it's kind of nasty. I mean, I know they got those warranty programs at Best Buy and stuff like that, so I'm sure there will be some type of coverage.
I think that's where I'm going to pre-order mine from, to be honest.
Yeah, and so I know there's some type of coverage, but no, I mean it's a lot to ask. If like I can't imagine me buying my 2 kids a Switch. I just can't. I can't see it. I see how often they drop their little blue Fire tablets with the big, rubber protector on it.
I think the thing is, the kids don't need a Switch 2.
Exactly.
The Switch 1 is still more than functional for them.
Exactly.
The Switch 2 is for us adults. It's for us adults that care.
Okay, and that's my point. How many of those people are going to purchase that device is kind of what I'm interested to see.
The last time they released an adult console for us.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's so many options on the market now, and do adults really want to play? Do adults really want to play the new Mario Kart?
It's cheaper than a handheld PC. It is.
You can get a Steam Deck for cheaper than a.
You might say you can get a Steam Deck for like around. You can get the half terabyte Steam Deck without the OLED screen for like $400.
There are cheaper options on the handheld PC market, so I'm just like, I'm just interested to see like how this really does, especially with the Switch 2 not having a strong first party launch lineup. It's gonna be interesting. I'm not hating on the Switch, but this is gonna be a interesting release based on the pricing that they have chosen for this device out the gate. And it's just gonna be it's gonna be interesting to look back, not this year, but maybe 2-3 years from now, and see how the Switch is trending and kind of what's going on with it, what the game sales look like, how do games chart when they're $80 and $90? It's going to be a interesting. We're talking about base games being $80, $90. Like, what happens when, because Nintendo has made it where, that's the pricing now. What happens when in the US, NBA 2K, being that they're never afraid to, raise their prices. As an NBA 2K base game is $90 and the deluxe edition is like $140, or the ultimate edition is like $140. What happens then?
Those NBA guys are still going to play it.
on the Switch. I mean, are they going to play it on the Switch? I know they're going to play it,
It's
but
going to be priced crazy on everything, including the
it,
Switch.
it's
That's
gonna be
yeah.
it's gonna be priced crazy on everything, but it's gonna be cheaper on those other devices because you're paying, kind of that Nintendo tax on like I guarantee
We'll
you,
see.
I guarantee you that the Nintendo pricing will not have the same pricing as PlayStation and Xbox unless um $80 becomes the
The norm.
standard. Yeah, if $80 becomes the standard, like if PlayStation goes 80 with their first party and everyone else goes 80, then yeah. But outside of that, I don't see it. But I mean, if you think about it, we kind of are seeing it with Forza Horizon 5. That Ultimate Edition on PlayStation 5 is like $134.
Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of there. As far as like Ultimate Editions getting to close to 150. We're getting close to that. Now
That is unfortunate.
that same Ultimate Edition, I paid $30 for. And the best part about Forza in particular, you buy the Ultimate Edition of Forza, as we've seen with Forza Horizon 4, when the game gets delisted, they give you the whole game.
They give you a copy of the game. Yep,
Yeah.
they sure do.
Yeah.
They've done that with every Forza game.
Yeah, so so a game that people are
The
paying
game I missed out on was like, I think it was Motorsport 5. I don't have.
Yeah, so
Because I just never bought it or never, got a version of it all.
So you buy that premium pack, you're good to go. You don't you get everything when the game gets delisted. So the game that people are paying $134 for plus tax, which is gonna take you pretty close to 150. Us on the Xbox side are getting it for $30. You can't really beat that for that particular. That doesn't translate to all titles, but it does translate to that one, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, anything else that's on your guys' mind?
I don't got much. A new mobile game came out that's going to challenge Warfare. Call of Duty Warzone Mobile.
Okay.
It's called Delta Force.
Oh, yeah.
It's a mobile game I'm playing right now. So basically, it is the mobile battlefield game where it has a map. Basically, you take over territories. You can select your character and your character type. And yeah, so far the game is cool. It doesn't support controllers. So that's
I don't like touch
but
controls and those kinds of things.
touch and controls I'm somewhat used to. I had to get used to it because I'm doing a mobile review right now, so gotta get used to both.
Okay.
And also I finished a controller review for this controller. This is Modon, which was Big Big One, but they've gone through a name change. I created another budget-friendly controller called the Ether controller. It has an LED screen. The screen is bright, but the thing about this controller is it's a budget-friendly controller. Basically, all the configuration can be done on the screen, which I'm gonna lower the screen so y'all can see it better. But yeah, this is a little screen controller, and it's all for $30 for PC, Android, iOS, and the Switch for some apparent reason. But pretty cool controller. Configures, different modes, languages, all the cool jazz.
Okay.
That's all I got, though.
Ooh. Cool. All right. So I think we pretty much cleared the what's on your mind portion of the show. We can go ahead and jump into our topics. We don't have to have a 5-hour show tonight. So our first topic of the day, which was a Jew-based topic. Let me fix that real quick. Not the Switch reveal, which we talked about last week. It is. Excuse me, guys. Let me center this. We're going to talk about the Minecraft movie. It has done extremely well, and on top of it doing extremely well, it has also reinvigorated, which is kind of crazy to say. one of the most
Interesting
popular
Minecraft.
games of all times, huh?
Yeah, it's
I'm about to say
reinvigorated.
reinvigorate. I'm about to say the game was already popular.
Yes, but the player count has had a dramatic increase. It's gone up, I believe, like 30% since the movie has dropped. So they've seen a significant increase in Minecraft sales when it's a game that already sells extremely well. Like it literally charts in the top 25 of sales every month. um, even before this movie came out, so it's selling
Yep.
better and it's getting more engagement. More people are coming back to the game. Um, even after this movie, so it's pretty interesting to see. It's tracking to cross over $1 billion in box office sales. Yes, it's doing pretty well. With that said, I'm gonna hand it over to Jube since this was his topic of choice and kind of get his thoughts on the success of this title.
Yeah. I took my kids to see it.
Okay, what'd you
Fantastic
think?
movie. Great.
Okay,
I thought it was fun. Like it's just a fun movie. Like as somebody who doesn't really play Minecraft outside of dungeons, to be honest, I don't really play vanilla Minecraft at all.
I do like dungeons too.
Man, that is it. Man, it's so peaceful to play Minecraft.
I believe you. Like my daughter loves it. Like that's her game. So,
Yo,
um,
I don't know if they psychologically did something to that game to make it like relaxing to play, and also the quickest way to piss someone off is to set like it's to blow up their house.
Yeah,
true. Yep. Like she'll get into squabbles with her cousin over some Minecraft. Yeah. It's real. But no, we all had a good time. My 1 year old paid attention for a little bit.
the colors.
Kind of. Yep. I think that was 100% it.
Yeah.
But like I said, like people say, "Oh, the movie's not good." Like the movie was fine. But like I don't know but is it gonna win an Oscar? Absolutely not. But like, what were you expecting? It's a game.
Hey,
It's a movie
hey,
based
best game
off of a
imitation of the
video
year.
It's a game
creativity.
without a flagship
How to
character to base it on. So like it's a loose
Hey,
just a world that you can operate within with random characters. So yeah, it's probably not going to be the best story of all time in regards to a movie, but it should be a fun, enjoyable experience.
correct? And it was. It was definitely worth the price of admission. Like I laughed. Like I had a good time.
Mhm.
So all the accolades, not even accolades, all the money this movie is making is definitely deserved. And I'm happy to see video game adaptations actually, have some success after we had some stinkers like Resident Evil and
So
Doom and Mortal Kombat.
yeah, but now that
Like,
these video game movies are consistently killing the box office, I think we're gonna see a big transition from comic book movies because comic book movies are starting to get kind of played out.
yep.
Um, Disney has kind of lost its direction of what to do. With all of these characters in their solo movies, and they're kind of hoping that this Secret Wars kind of reinvigorates you know the comic book movie genre that looks like it has died off. But I mean, no matter what format you're releasing these video game um IPs in, whether it be a TV show, anime, a movie, they're doing well. Devil May Cry doing well. The Witcher extremely well. Cyberpunk doing well. Arcane doing well. Like, I think Tomb Raider even had a decent amount of success. I watched Tomb Raider. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Um,
What's also crazy is look at Microsoft's track record now with their IPs. Like, okay, Halo wasn't the best. Fallout was a runaway hit. Now
yeah,
Minecraft is a
yeah. Fall
runaway hit. Like
Crap.
they're showing you that they can actually do this.
Yeah. Well, I think they made a mistake going with Paramount with Halo.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
but
They should have
other
went with HBO.
yeah.
If they had gone with HBO, we wouldn't be talking about how not
well,
super great that show was.
I think they went with HBO originally when they did the animation of Halo.
Yep. Hmm.
And I think I guess the relationship wasn't good after that. That would be my best bet, was like maybe HBO didn't see the value in it because the cartoon didn't necessarily do that well back then. So I'm sure they probably did want to do it with HBO, but after HBO kind of was like, no, we're good. They probably looked elsewhere, and they said, we'll give Paramount Halo, since we're going live action there, and we'll give Netflix Gears of War, because Netflix is doing Gears of War. That got announced like 2 years ago. So we're just waiting for that Gears of War adaptation to come out. I don't know if it's live action or CGI or what, but we do know Netflix is doing Gears of War.
I'm thinking Amazon should have handled all of this, to be honest.
Well,
Really? You think Amazon should?
Amazon wasn't really a player in that space at the time.
Yeah, they should have been.
I mean,
because
Amazon's currently handling Lord of the Rings, and they're not doing that well.
Well, the thing is like people. I don't know. Amazon does a lot of really good shows, but and even though people pay for Amazon Prime and they already have access to those shows being a Prime member, I just don't think people look at Amazon's entertainment services as kind of legitimate services. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it's not their go-to.
The Boys, Mental, they have plenty.
Yeah, they have really good shows. Like, Amazon got some shows. Like, I'm a big fan of Jack Reacher.
Invincible is a really good show.
Reacher, Jack Ryan's really good. I'm mad that show came to an end. What's that other show that they did that's really good? Well, I won't say it's really good. It's interesting. The Boys is good. But yeah, Amazon has some good shows. It's just like people go for a show or two, but it's just, like Amazon just doesn't have the heart and mind enough that when you like are looking for something to watch, you scroll through Prime to watch it. Like you go to Prime for specific shows. Yeah. You're not scrolling through that. You'll scroll through Disney, you'll scroll through Hulu, you'll scroll through Netflix, but people aren't really scrolling through Amazon Prime. Like they watch specific shows on Amazon Prime. And Amazon does make some really good shows, but it's just not something that you just like casually browse through, even though they have really good content. And I have like the Fire Cube. So sometimes I'll ask for a show or a movie and I'll be like, oh, it's on Amazon Prime for free. Oh yeah, I guess I'll watch it here. And it's like, you don't even think to look for certain things, like Street Fighter 2, the animated movie. I don't know if it's still there, but it was on Prime. Like
it's still there.
The uncut edition with, if you want to watch Chun-Li. Yeah, if you want to see if you want to see the full Chun-Li scene, if that's your thing, it's there. But to me, Street Fighter 2 animated movie is by far the best Street Fighter movie ever made. It's my favorite. So Ken and Ryu fighting Bison was OD. It hasn't been topped yet in Street Fighter. I have quite a few Street Fighter animated movies. I still go with that's the best one. They had a really good anime show too that no one seems to know about, but it like came. But I think it was on Tech TV for a little bit back in the day. It was when Ryu and Ken are teenagers and they start kind of going on their own little expedition. It's a really good show back in the day. I think it was called Street Fighter 2. Something I forgot the
Oh, I know what you're talking about, the Street Fighter Netflix show. Was it on Netflix or was it on Amazon?
No, this is long time. This is Tech TV days. Like we're talking 90s, 2000s. Really good, but it was a really good animated show. I mean, the animation quality is still really good. I think it's like on par with the movie Street Fighter 2 animated movie. So I mean, a lot of good stuff out there on Amazon Prime. But yeah, I think with Minecraft doing well, with Sonic doing well, and like I said, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter what format you are. Pikachu movie doing well. Detective Pikachu did really well. It doesn't really matter the format that you're picking for this content. It is doing very well. Last of Us is doing very well. You know, and it's like I feel like it's. I mean, I'm a part of a lot of these different communities, but I can consider myself, a gamer more than I consider myself like a weeb or a comic book nerd or anything like that. But it's kind of cool to see like the video game community kind of get vindicated, like where like, yes, we have these amazing stories that people have that I guess the common folk or the masses have just slept on for so long, and now they're getting a chance to experience them. These worlds that we've enjoyed for 20, 30 years, and they're finally getting a chance to get a taste of them, and it's pretty cool. And it's cool to see them do well. It's cool to see people who know nothing about Last of Us, who know nothing about Devil May Cry or Tomb Raider or Arcane, get a chance to see and experience these stories. So it's really cool. So, Nappy, you've participated a little bit, but you haven't had a chance to get like a full thought out. So, what are your thoughts on Minecraft movie doing well, and kind of like just video game adaptations in general, just kind of dominating Hollywood at the moment?
Okay. I'm glad that Minecraft did well. I actually just looked it up. So Minecraft actually beats Sonic 3 in movie sales.
Yeah, it's doing.
Minecraft has made 281 million compared to Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which did 236 million.
Are you talking
You talking about
U.S.
domestic or
you're talking
worldwide?
Yeah, worldwide it's a lot
No,
higher.
that's
Worldwide,
no,
that's
this
700 mil, bro.
wait,
We're approaching a billion.
that's just North America. That's just North
Yeah,
America.
I say it's trending
right
to be
now-
like $1 billion movie, box office.
Yeah, so in North America, Minecraft already beat Sonic 3. So I'm definitely expecting this. If Sonic 3 becomes a best movie imitation of the year nominee, then Minecraft definitely is going to become one.
Yeah. So yeah, this is really gonna be. I think this is really a thing, but I think unlike the comic books or whatever other fad that Hollywood has picked up, I think that the video game movies have a lot more staying power than the comic book wave did with the superhero stuff, because not every game is about superheroes. Not every story is about fighting monsters and all stuff. Like, there's a lot of variety of stories. Like, can you imagine if they did Max Payne as a TV series?
Gosh.
Oh yeah, yes, that would actually be interesting. That would actually be a good adaptation.
We've had a Max Payne. We've had a Max Payne movie.
You had a Max Payne movie and it was trash, but you can always go back and
Mark Wahlberg and it was garbage.
Yeah, but you can do
one.
We
already got a Gears of War movie. They could make a Mafia movie. They could do a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's such a variety of franchises when you go from Mario to Max Payne to, you can do Alan Wake, you can do a Final Fantasy show or movie, you could do. There's just so much variety of places you can go. You can South of Midnight, I think, is trying to get a show. There's so many places that you can go in the as far as gaming IP, and they're so different and varied. Nothing's the same. You can do God of War. You could do Horizon, which has been done to death on the video game side.
Yep, no, you could do a lot. I do think that actually, as far as it comes to storytelling and also to keeping game relevance, I'm pretty sure that like game studios are paying attention to the power of movies and show adaptations of their games. I mean, think about it. Look at the first one started with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk 2077 did horrible. They patched the game. Nobody cared. All of a sudden, Cyberpunk Edge came out. Everyone hopped back into Cyberpunk and realized the game was fixed.
Yes, Cyberpunk Edge Runners is amazing, and that is probably the most powerful reason why video game shows and movie adaptations will continue is because it has such a powerful transfer between both.
Yeah.
So
Not only that, and it exposes people who normally don't play games.
Yes.
Or people who do play games, expose them into the video game world. So
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Definitely don't sleep on it.
It's such a powerful crossover because even like with the superhero stuff, as great as much as people love Wolverine and people love X-Men and people love Batman and people love Superman and all these great superheroes, like I love those stories myself. As much as we love all that content, nobody is really going and pursuing the secondary content past when those movies comes out. Like nobody's watching Batman and saying, "Oh, I need to go pick up a stack of Batman comics." I mean, it's a very small amount of people compared to what we're seeing the attach rate between video games and these shows and games. Like
what's crazy is look how expensive games are in comparison to something like a comic book.
Yes, like comic books are like
a comic book is dirt cheap. You can get like 6 or 8 for the price of one video game.
Yes.
So it's just crazy to me that that's just what it is. It's wild. Yeah. And I'm also very glad that we are out. You remember when there would be a movie and there's a video game adaptation of the movie?
And it was terrible.
Yeah.
And the game was fucking trash. Outside of King Kong was good. Generally, those games.
Like King
Kong? Are you talking about when they made you talking about when they made the movie first and then the game came out after
the game adaptation?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the terrible superhero movies.
Yes, the game adaptations.
Iron, Thor.
Yeah. Game adaptations of movies have always been horrible. That hasn't changed yet. We haven't seen, outside of The Matrix, we have not really seen a movie come out and then have a game adaptation and it be good. I would say, The Matrix and Riddick.
Actually, no. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. That's an excellent.
Okay.
That is an excellent game adaptation.
But that was a comic to a movie to a game.
Correct. The game was still based on the movie. Still.
Yeah,
it had the charm. I give.
Yeah, they marketed them the same.
But for the most part, it's been pretty bad. Like when you go from movie to game, it hasn't generally been good.
Been good at all.
Yeah, generally that's
not wrong.
It's like The Matrix was fire. The Matrix games were all good. All the ones I played, at least back in the day, they were all good. They were fun. It was, you were able to do the same things in the game that you were able to do in the movie. It was pretty cool. And it's just, but it is far and few between. I can't think of many where it's like the game came out, the movie came out, and Hogwarts. But that's not like an immediate release. Like typically, like the movie would come out, and then like 6 months to a year later, the game would come out. It was like right on top of each other. We're definitely.
Yeah.
Well, we've stopped doing that. I can't think of the last time we did that, but
Yeah, I'm actually I'm glad to see like there's going to be more like video game adaptation movies and shows coming out now. And I see that companies are now seeing it as a way to like bring life to probably some of their older IPs or IPs that people just haven't played. I mean, I'm curious. What's curious though? Like even though like when The Witcher season 1 did very well, I didn't see too much of an increase in The Witcher series.
You know what?
But the thing is, the Witcher games are already so good. They've already sold extremely well.
We did just see the Witcher 4 trailer. We saw that last year. So
people are concerned. Man, people are concerned about that, but that's a different topic. But I mean, yeah, I'm glad to see that like video game adaptations are doing so well, and hopefully we get more of it.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think it's going anywhere. Because, like I said, the IP is so varied. It's not, it's not all kind of the same as far as like, it's all superheroes. It's all superheroes. I mean, all these superheroes have different stories and different abilities, but the premise is all the same. Like they're all kind of doing the same thing. Whereas video games, like, you can go from Resident Evil to Max Payne to Grand Theft Auto to The Witcher to Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
and they're all very different, very unique stories. Like, you know, Nintendo's on a roll. They could do an Animal Crossing or what's that farm game? Harvest Moon. They can do a Harvest Moon video game.
That'd be interesting.
They could do a Harvest Moon show, and people would eat that shit up. And it's so different than Cyberpunk Edge Runners. It's completely different. It's not like I know Hulk and Spider-Man are different as far as their abilities, but it's still a superhero movie. So you're gonna have the same tones and things like that take place overall, you know, from movie to movie. It's just a matter of who executes better. But when you go from Harvest Moon to Cyberpunk, you're attracting totally different audiences. You're telling completely different types of stories. And you're going to get completely different outcomes when you have your viewing experience. Like Until Dawn's coming out this week. And that's a horror game. And the movie actually looks pretty interesting.
Yep. The only thing I gotta say for all these video game companies that are looking for movie studios to make movies out of their games, do not go the .hack route. So I was a big fan of .hack, and that story, you literally had to play the games, watch the shows, and watch the movies in order to get the full story of the .hack series. That's what the original .hack and .hack GU.
Yeah,
I do not recommend it.
That was a long time ago.
I love .hack.
We've improved.
I know it's a long time ago. I'm just saying.
We've improved.
I love .hack, but goddamn, man, had to go out my way just to watch my favorite show and get to understand the full story of .hack series. That's all I have. Do not go that route.
.hack was amazing. That series
is amazing.
It needs to be brought back. .hack is an anime series that needs to be brought, and I'm sure it will at some point. You know, we saw Trigun come back. We've seen Rurouni Kenshin come back.
I mean, they did set it up where they can create a new world. So the first world already got finished and deleted. The second world, they re-released the game in 2017 with the final chapter to close off the story for that game, and that world got shut down. So now, if they wanted to, they can develop a new world. They just got to explain why the hell is there a new world.
You know, a show,
and they still have the world C's still there. So
a show that kind of needs to come back and then have a video game that corresponds with it is Reboot.
Yeah, let's get Reboot. I'm trying to play as Bob.
Reboot could be a video game. It really could, and it would be a really good one if you did it right.
All the gaming tropes, like I can see exactly what you would do with it.
Yeah, Reboot would be pretty interesting. I think Zoids would be interesting too, like as far as an anime video game crossover.
The Zoids definitely an interesting one because I never heard the show. I know it had a video game. I didn't know how well it did though.
It wasn't. It
has more than one video game.
Yeah, it wasn't like a big video game. It was kind of like, yeah, let's just make something. It's like kind of like what would be considered a mobile game by today's standards.
No, there's one that came out on the Switch. All the Zoids games basically came out on freaking handhelds.
That's what I'm saying, but they'd be considered more mobile games by today's standards. They wouldn't be considered like these big flagship games. But if they released like a flagship Zoids game, like with like a fully developed story and like you could like customize your Zoid and all that other stuff, I think
all the Zoid armors
and have
And then after you completed the main story, they had like an online mode. You know, maybe you could do like some battle royale
battles
or like arena style fighting. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would actually be really good. I mean, there's a lot of stuff they can do.
I'm surprised they haven't done a proper Gundam video game, like with a fully fledged out story. Like, I'm surprised they haven't.
They got a bunch of stories. I mean, but
I'm talking about like a AAA Gundam game. I'm surprised it hasn't happened.
We haven't got that.
That's what I'm surprised.
We're not getting that. Usually we get double A's when it comes to anime games.
But I'm saying you could do but the Gundam stories are unique enough.
Daddy?
What? guess.
Yeah. Well, but as far as the Gundam games, actually, as far that would be good. Big O would also be good. Oh my God, they recently made a double A game for what was that? Death Note. Death Note got its own little online game now.
Oh, is it good?
One it's actually pretty decent. Some people like it. So it was like one person play as Kira, and everyone else it plays as like all the random citizens. And the whole purpose, the whole objective for Kira is to figure out all everyone's names and kill them. While the other objective for the for Kira, I'm sorry, for the citizens, is to figure out who Kira is and arrest them. So I heard it did like okay. It didn't get a big enough fan base because it wasn't advertised as much.
Okay.
But yeah, there is a game. There is a Death Note game which I think should be advertised more.
Yeah.
So
is it on all
but
platforms or is it just like a Steam game?
I know it's a Steam game.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's like a little. You could tell it was like a AAA indie type game because it's like a chibi format.
Yeah.
But the core concept is fun. It's like you have one person being Kira where they gotta
Oh yeah, it's only
literally
on,
try to
I think
figure
it's
out
only on
everyone's
Steam.
name.
Death Note, The Killer
That's
Within.
unfortunate. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's only on Steam.
Yep, one person plays as Kira, everyone else plays as the citizens.
Oh no,
Citizens
it's
try to find Kira.
It's on Steam and PlayStation.
Really?
And it's multiplayer.
Yeah, no, it is multiplayer. That's how you play online.
Yeah.
Play online. Playing Kira is kind of fun though. You get to try to trick people into giving your names and stuff, and you try to find the clues to people's names, and then you write down a notebook and see what happens, and nothing happens. You got the wrong name. And also
So you have to convince other players to give you their name. How are you going to do that? If I'm playing that game,
it looks like it's like kind of like a board game kind of look to it.
It's kind of like a board game. It's like a top-down chibi game.
Yeah.
Ish, but it's fun. I played like one round of it. It was fun. I would
just
recommend
cheat
it.
and just not give out their name? Like I'm just trying to figure out how you bypass that.
There's like it's not so the game. If just in case the players don't saying the game does give you clues of like everyone's name. Like you will be able to find a character's like ID with their real name on it and stuff.
Oh, and you can
like,
play up to 10 players. It plays up to 10 players.
Yeah, so they have ways of giving Kira clues to figure out people's real name. Like your ID, for example, is one.
Oh, this game is old. So, it came out in 2007.
No, wait.
Am I looking at it right? Let me see. Did it come out?
No, because I remember.
It released in. I got two different release dates. Like Google's telling me one thing, but Steam's saying 2024 is when it came out.
No, I'm about to say no. It definitely came out recently.
Yeah. That's to say Google's telling me one thing, but Steam has the release date as November 5th,
yeah,
2024.
Death Note Killing Within.
Yeah,
November 5th. It's only $10 too.
Yeah.
It's actually competing against Among Us. That's and it's sitting at mostly positive, and all reviews are very positive. So
I guess there's two Death Note games. There might be another one.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Killer Within.
Yeah, Killer Within. Yeah, but I'm saying there might be another one. Whatever Google's talking about, because it says initial release date, or it might be because it says Nintendo DS.
There was a Death Note game on the DS.
Okay.
Yeah. But Killer Within is actually a fun little TV game if you want to play it. Especially if you like Among Us.
Okay.
It's only $10 too. It's really cheap, and the DLC characters are cheap as well.
Yeah, on Steam.
I just want an Inuyasha game that's worth a damn. That's not the fighting game.
Well, now we're talking.
I'm about to say the fighting game on PlayStation 1. That was my game.
It was PlayStation
1.
Like
Totosai was kind of cheap.
I was kind of hoping
somebody. It was great.
Yep.
I was kind of hoping that DBZ Kakarot would kind of inspire the gaming community or gaming developers to see that like we will play through the story of our favorite video game, of our favorite animes. Like,
what's crazy is that Kakarot just recently got an update with the new storyline for
yeah, they do it all the time.
Got the whole
It's getting Daima in June.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's kind of weird because Xenoverse used to be getting all the DLCs, but now it's Kakarot,
because Kakarot
No,
which I think was a
is
bit
Xenoverse also has
often.
Daima, but Xenoverse also has Daima DLC.
people love the Kakarot.
Xenoverse?
People love the
Yes, it does.
Kakarot format. I love
I'm
the
about to say,
Kakarot.
like, damn, Xenoverse won't.
I know I love the Kakarot format.
They're putting Daima in everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good because I'm about to say because Xenoverse 2 will not die. It just won't.
Yeah.
They update that game forever.
I like
And
Kakarot the
and the
most because the other ones are more like fighting games. This is like
mhm.
more like
I
story
still think
based.
Xenoverse is a trash game. If we're gonna be real, it's a trash game. It's not good, but
It
no,
is. I
it is
mean,
100% unbalanced as hell. There was a time where like if you were like a Majin Buu player, like you was putting in work. They had so much more key than everybody else, so they could dodge
yeah,
more.
they
Like it
did.
was just it was an uphill struggle trying to fight a Majin character just because they could out dodge you and still have plenty of key left to finish you off. Sucks.
Well, I played as a human just because
Oh, and playing as a
I
human
gave
is
myself
absolute
all the
dog shit.
challenge. It was, man. I gave myself a challenge. I was a human beating gods.
Hmm.
Yeah, but still has fun in Xenoverse. But it is crazy though. But overall, I'm just happy to see that like Minecraft movie did very well. Surprised it outsold Sonic, which I know Sonic isn't as big as Minecraft, especially with the
It's
newer
coming for that
generation and
Mario
older
crown,
generation.
bro. It wants that Mario crown bad.
Yeah,
I know.
people underestimate how big of a IP Minecraft is. Like, I think people, uh, we know it's a big game, but I think a lot of people forget that it's like literally the greatest selling game of all time. Like,
It
so
is.
Yeah,
It surpassed Tetris, and Tetris used to be the greatest selling game of all time.
I'm
It
sure
definitely surpassed that.
I'm sure Fortnite
yeah.
would have had the potential to pass it, or Roblox. You know, if those were games for sale, I'm sure they would have the opportunity. But being that those games aren't for
Yep, but they're
sale,
not.
um, Minecraft is
Unless you were
probably
stupid like me, they got the Founders Edition of Fortnite
yeah. Um,
Yeah,
and
I still get
bought
to
the
play
Battle
Fortnite
Royale.
actually. I was told I need to play Fortnite because they have Guitar Hero now on Fortnite,
Yep, they do. If you
is
have a guitar, you
crazy.
can play some Guitar Hero in Fortnite. The songs are expensive
I'm
though. That's how they get you. But
yeah.
yeah, I figured. In fact, matter of fact, Sabrina Carpenter in this new DLC. She's gone. Also, apparently, she's gonna have a Fortnite tour. Apparently,
she deserves one.
well, I don't know. I don't listen to her music. I mean, I just know that people.
It's not about listening to her music. She's fine, bro. I don't give a fuck about the music.
I mean, everyone talks about she's fine, and she does like she does the same routine on her stage, and people got bored of it.
Yep.
And she even said that she ran out of moves.
That's fine. Just like Ice Spice, like I wasn't there for the music, bro.
Oh my god!
It's good on you.
I was poopy lyrics. This
Like,
man,
I was
guy
not
singing
there for
poopy.
music.
She got
Oh
them.
my
She got them parappa the rapper lyrics.
Papa
Worse.
the Nah, that was worse. Papa the rapper, you man, he used to.
This Parappa had a
Oh
couple of
man,
bars. She has absolutely zero. Like
nah, she got poopy. All her bars are poopy bars. And
literally.
then she's like, "I keep it a stack, brah. I keep it a stack, brah. Niggas look at my ass, brah. They mushing my ass, ma. Call me Miss Poopy. I need a diaper, blah."
So, but listen,
All
somebody said, "Hey, yo, that's heat. Go ahead and drop that." So blame those people.
Hey,
you know what?
hey, they
And they
just
were right because Ice Spice blew up.
Ice Spice did not blow up because of the lyrics. Let's be
She blew up
real.
because of
We
that
know
ass, bro.
that.
Let's be no, no. Let's be real. It was the
We
booty.
know.
It was the orange
We
hair.
know. We know.
Orange hair, the lips,
I did not
and
like the orange hair on her. It
I
did
did.
not look right.
I
I
did
didn't
not
like the
care.
orange hair.
Nope.
hey, people love that orange hair.
You weren't even looking at her hair to begin with.
Nope. I sure wasn't. I couldn't
So
tell you
why
what
did
you had on that day. I could not tell you what you had on that day, but that ass though.
you? You can't even tell the color. You can't even tell
And
the jeans, the shorts on.
that little rub thing that she does on stage also was a big money maker. You know,
Yep.
so a little bit.
And then she lost weight and started, and then her career kind of got derailed. She gained some weight back though, so
I mean, it's too late. People moved
Yeah.
on.
Yam, I have not. I'm here for yams.
Yes.
You have what?
She does.
Yam lovers are
she
loving it.
she is a very pretty woman though. Like, you know, even when she lost weight, I
I
thought
mean,
she was pretty.
she's
But she
she's not attractive. I think she should have kept the weight off. I mean, I know she lost her ass and all, but she actually wasn't a healthier. She was actually a healthier version of herself, and I was like, you know what? Nah,
no, she looks
keep the
healthy.
weight off. 'Cause it was
No, she looks very healthy now. I had no problem with her losing weight, but at some point the weight loss did start to look unhealthy. So I'm glad that she kind of like, I think she put the weight back on. I think she found like a healthy balance of like, you know, achieving a level of weight loss that she's happy with, but still like, I guess having
Keeping her assets.
yeah, keeping her sex appeal. So I think she found whatever balance she may have been looking for, but at one point she did look like she was starting like to like trend towards like having a negative impact of like losing too much weight. That did start to look
she
like
looked like there was something wrong with her. Like is she sick?
yeah,
yeah. I mean,
I mean, it was okay. I'll say this, like,
but yeah.
because honestly, like her weight, I can definitely say like her weight loss wasn't like too crazy. I mean, because
No, it was crazy
you got
because she
when I was in the
she was like 160 probably eat like between like
and she
140 and 160 easy, and she got like under 110. Like
not
Yeah,
110.
it was
No,
looking rough. No,
she
bro.
got
She was looking like
nah.
she
She
was
was like
sick. Like
120. She was
no,
she was
I would have
120. No,
I
she
know
got a lot of.
said she had like
I know what I know
some
what a
crazy disease.
5'4", 120-pound woman looks like. She was not 120.
She was not that.
She was not 120.
She
She got
I
down.
mean, she definitely
She got in
because my
she got in that 110 range, bro. She was like
I
probably
wouldn't. I
between.
know she doesn't
She
because
got
I'm gonna tell you
low.
why. Because my girl is five. My girl is like 5'7" and she's like 130 pounds and she's thinner than Ice Spice.
Yeah, because she's 5'7".
What?
Ice Spice not
Yeah,
that
she's like
tall.
five.
Ice Spice is like what 5'4", 5'5". 5'7" is very
Well,
tall.
I mean,
5'7" is very
5'7" is taller
tall.
than the average woman. She's
5'7"
taller than
is
the average woman.
very tall for a woman. Yes, it is.
well, what I'm saying is that she's slim, but she's 130. Ice Spice is shorter than her, and you're saying, and even when she lost weight, she's still thinner
Yeah,
than my
yeah.
girl. There's no way.
Ice
There's
Spice is
no way in hell that she's under 100 pounds.
she's 5'3".
She was
It's
very
very
close to
easy.
it.
It's very easy. She could be under 100 pounds.
I
She's
thought she
five
had an
three.
eating disorder or some shit. Like
Yeah, she's
I was like,
5'3".
yo,
I mean,
somebody needs to intervene. There's something
You're talking
wrong
about
with this lady.
you're talking about a 4-inch difference, and then you're also talking about like arm length and things like that. Very like I'm sure your girl would like dwarf Ice Spice, and she probably is like a little bit broader based on her height and things like that too. So yeah, Ice Spice is small, so you know it would be very easy to go from like 140 to like 90 pounds when you're 5'3". Very easy.
Yep.
Very easy. And I think she did get pretty low in weight. But like I said, I think she found a healthy balance. I'm happy for her. And it looks like it's going to, you know, benefit her career. So, but that's a tangent. She's not video game related. Or is she? Is she in like Call of Duty or something like that? Is she DLC somewhere? Is she in Fortnite?
I'd buy the skin.
I'm sure you I'm sure you'd already own it. Let's see.
Let me get that Fortnite skin.
I'm gonna type Ice Spice DLC for you and see if it exists somewhere. Let's see. Help this degenerate out. Oh, there is a Ice Spice Fortnite bundle.
You're lying.
I'm not.
I don't own it. I need to get that.
There's an Ice Spice Fortnite bundle just for Jubei. It costs,
somebody out there selling an account that got it.
It is on
Let me get
sale.
that.
It is on sale. 2,800 V-Bucks. Sign in to purchase. Yes.
$20. Okay. Yep.
There's an
Thank
ice. They got the beater and shorts combo, and I will let you know the yams are not yamming. Based on what I see, but if you want to participate in the Ice Spice Fortnite skins, they are available. Yes. So 2,800 V-Bucks.
Okay.
The dark roads we go down with Jubei. But yeah, I think we hit. I think we hit this 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 video game movie adaptation thing on the head, and we can dive into our final topic of tonight. We went on a bit of a tangent,
Sorry
but
about
hey,
that.
tangents are fun sometimes. See,
Sorry about
so
that. Ice Spice kicked me off for talking shit.
hey, Ice Spice, I'm a fan. I don't got nothing bad to say about you. I'm happy you found what works for you.
Balance. Yeah, I'm happy you found some balance.
You're not happy about it. You're happy she found her
I mean,
You're happy she found her yams.
that's the balance I'm talking about. Lose your weight and keep the yams. There's your balance.
Lose your weight, keep the yams.
Oh man, that sounds like a some type of slogan, like a workout plan.
I don't even want to call it the Kanye workout plan because that's problematic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the no. He got the cousin workout plan going right now. That's the workout plan he got. But let's move on because those are some salacious activities that he's been partaking in recently. I wonder if Kanye has a DLC. Let's see, Kanye DLC. If he does, it probably got removed. He got to be in something. Kanye DLC.
Literally ban that Negro.
Leak Kanye Skyrim DLC.
Shut up. Ain't no Skyrim DLC with Kanye in it.
There's a picture.
The closest thing we got
there's
to
a
Kanye
picture.
DLC
there's a picture of
Jacob
it
from fucking Mass Effect.
There's a picture of it on Reddit.
No.
Oh man, let me share my screen. Kanye DLC. Let's see if I can. Let me see if I can do the nappy and share my. There you go. Y'all see it? Y'all see the Kanye.
I knew I was gonna see you again. I knew I was gonna see you again, Kanye.
So yeah, so there is apparently Kanye Skyrim DLC. I am sure that at some point Nappy will verify the authenticity of that Kanye DLC, and he will be rocking Yeezys in Skyrim and hanging with his cousin. Whatever that means nowadays.
Not I. I don't know what cousin he hanging out with, but that ain't stuff to me and my cousins did. I don't know.
Oh man. He volunteered that information too.
He really did. Nobody, you know who asked for this? Absolutely no one.
Nobody. Nobody. It wasn't like it like popped up in conversation where like the conversation kind of led him in that direction. Like no, he just went on Twitter and just
spewed it out. Funk Flex was somewhere out there just saying, "What made you go with that verse?"
Yeah.
Like why are we here?
Yeah. Crazy week, but let's go ahead and hit on this Bethesda surprise show that we're getting tomorrow, and like,
yeah,
just the fact that
with the implications,
Xbox is doing crazy work, crazy numbers in these streets. Like, as a publisher and as a platform holder, who is doing more than Xbox right now? Like, literally, like. This month alone, they're releasing. This is going to be 3 games in 1 month. 5 games so far this year. Well, we got Ninja Gaiden Black, Avowed. We have South of Midnight. We have this Obsidian remaster, which is really a remake, but hey, call it a remaster. Whatever. And then at the end of the month, you top it off with Towerborn. And then 2 weeks after Towerborn, you're releasing Doom Eternal.
Or Doom the Dark Ages.
Yeah. Doom the Dark Ages. I can't keep up. It's so much.
Yeah, we eat them.
It's
Xbox people are eating.
it's so much content.
Like this if Xbox ever had a time to catch up, this is that time because who else has shit out?
Yeah,
Like literally,
And
literally, Nintendo is getting shit on because of their crazy anti-consumerism.
and
PlayStation hasn't released shit. Like let's be real. Like this is the time. They
look,
cannot possibly fumble
go.
this.
I,
But
I
I have a feeling
know,
they're gonna start
I
like
know,
I don't know when, but they will.
I know
Are they gonna
Sony.
fumble it there?
I know these Sony fans don't want to hear it, and I'm gonna keep the topic more on Xbox. But PlayStation is entering into a dangerous territory where I don't see if a couple more games flop. I don't see how how you can convince big Sony to continue to invest in first party titles when the platform is having so much success despite lacking first party content. Why do we need first party content if we're making money
If we're getting the job done without investing.
yes,
Yep.
we're making money hand over fist without it. So if this next crop of games flop, you could be in a world where Sony says get rid of 90% of these studios. We're going to roll with our top 3. We're going to continue to do MLB The Show. We're going to continue to keep Naughty Dog around. I guess we'll keep Insomniac around. We'll keep in Santa Monica, and everybody else can go. Like you can like that could be a reality for PlayStation if a couple more of these games don't do well. You made a $3 billion investment, almost four. Well, if you factor in the development of Marathon, a $4 billion investment, damn near, into Bungie. And if that game flops and you have no real prospects of another title coming from them for almost a decade, because it takes 6-7 years to make these live service games. It takes longer to make these live service games and really get them off the ground than it does, a single player experience that takes you, anywhere between 4 and 6 years, depending on the scope of it.
Maybe
So
it should take 7 and they have 2 years worth of content, and that while that 2 years is out, they work on other yearly content. That
I'm
my
not
biggest thing with live service games, it's
I
never
mean,
enough.
I'm not
It's never
I
arguing
mean,
enough
what
enough.
I'm not arguing against
I
that.
think what they should do is invest in making a Bloodborne 2, something that PlayStation people have been asking for.
But that,
Just saying.
but the it all right. So the issue that PlayStation has is that they have an extremely low attach rate on their first party. Even the games that people are asking for do not sell well relative to the install base. So, even though a game like Horizon, God of War, or Last of Us may end up selling like 20 million copies after like 50 million re-releases, um it's it's a very small portion of the install base that are buying these games. So like Spider-Man sold 20 million, but guess what? When you really look at it, a lot of people who bought Spider-Man remastered, like because they wanted the upgraded, you know, graphics and the new character model of Peter Parker and that's the type of stuff that's going on. Like you buy it for the PS4 and the PS5. So like a lot of people are double dipping on games as opposed to a large amount of the install base, purchasing their first party. Their first party just doesn't have a high attach rate, and I think PlayStation is having a hard time figuring out who their audience is for the different titles that they're making and how to market to those people on their platform, because the games just aren't doing as well as they should when you have that large of an install base. But yeah, so I think PlayStation is in a really unique place. They canceled about 10 games, right? So that's money lost. They spent $400 million on a game that lasted 12 days, and now that studio's gone. And they had to purchase that studio. I'm sure they purchased them for a couple $100 million. They didn't get the
Yep.
studio for free.
They paid out all those salaries. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Spider-Man 2, it didn't really hit the black hard enough to where it was worth it for them to have made it. That's why you're not getting a Spider-Man 2 DLC. Like I said, Sony PlayStation is in a really weird spot with their first party right now, and I think a lot of it's going to hinge on what Marathon and this Fair game does. And I don't think that Intergalactic game is looking to do very well because the PlayStation community is already kind of scoffing at it. Like, this isn't what we wanted. As far as the character and all that other stuff. So it's really interesting. Like, the PlayStation community is bucking against what Sony's doing at the moment. So I just and it's not like Sony can afford to keep missing over and over and over again on first party titles because they are very expensive to make. When with the style of game that they make and the amount of investment they put into the motion capture and the storytelling and these QTE scenes and all that, like they invest a lot to make these cinematic style games that they like to make. So it's gonna be interesting. Ghost of Yote might be Sony's Assassin's Creed Shadows, where like it may have to be the game that like saves Sony first party. Yeah, but I'm just saying it might be the game that has to save Sony first party with how their first party is trending at the moment. Because it isn't looking very good. So it is interesting, but we can shift back to Xbox because, like I said, Xbox is not just carrying the Xbox platform; they are simultaneously carrying the PlayStation platform. They are releasing Indiana Jones and Forza Horizon 5 this month on the PlayStation, and those two titles are dominating the store to the point where I think they dominate 6 of the top 10 spots of pre-orders. With the 3 editions of
and people are buying those big editions
yeah,
too, which is great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're dominating with the 3 editions of Forza Horizon 5, and I think there's 2 or 3 editions of Indiana Jones. So they have like 5 or 6 of the spots. I think Indiana Jones has 2 editions, and then like Minecraft might be, or Minecraft and Call of Duty might, one of them 2 are in their top 10 also. So like, yeah, they are killing it on the PlayStation Store, and on top of Doom's also in their top 10. I forgot about Doom.
It's crazy.
So Xbox is dominating their store. They're dominating their own store. They have a healthy amount of Game Pass subscribers. I'm sure they're not where they thought they would be at this very moment, but they're doing pretty well with Game Pass. They're obviously doing well on sales with what they're doing on Steam, Battle.net, PlayStation, and the sales that they get from Xbox. So they're doing it, like Xbox is doing it for the game industry at the moment. Like, I don't think we've seen a platform holder or a publishing house have this dominant of a year in quite some time. Where, they have this many, like Xbox might release like 15 games this year. That's a crazy number. Like, Ubisoft, as big as Ubisoft is, they're not releasing 15 games this year. Is Tencent releasing 15 games this year? Like, I'm thinking about the biggest publishers in the game. Is Take-Two releasing 15 games this year? Is Square Enix releasing 15 games this year? Xbox might literally release 15 games this year. We're already at like 5 or 6 already, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem. Give me the time. I mean, you have to think about it too. Microsoft had like what, like 2-3 years of prep time for this one very moment, and just so happened to be the perfect storm for them.
You know what's crazy? I wish they didn't throw in the towel so soon as far as, being multi-platform, because If they had waited,
Yeah, they would have. Oh my god, they would have waited. And now, especially
imagine if
now
all
that
these were
like
all exclusives, bro. All of them.
they were, since that would have been crazy. But what's crazier is that like the one thing I never anticipated was Nintendo's fuck up. PlayStation, I kind of can see was fucking up with all their stories. I mean, Concord did terrible. They're losing money left and right on their like first party titles. But Nintendo, the fact that Nintendo's fucking up, Xbox literally is now coming in at the saving grace. Surprisingly, the most consumer friendly platform for gaming right now, which is something I would never thought I would say that Microsoft Xbox will literally be the most consumer friendly platform right now. That is
Did
insane.
not have that on my bingo card.
I did not have
Did not have that
that
on my
in the
bingo
year
card.
2026. Oh my god! But I mean, Zero always told them, "Run me my games," and I guess Microsoft has finally buckled down and like, look, we got a lot of stuff cooking up, and got Fable coming out. We got this, we got that. Like, yeah, Microsoft is in the position to become the best console, and besides, I guess, competing with PC, but Microsoft doesn't care because you have to run Windows anyway, and not everyone has a Steam Deck.
Yep.
So,
See, but
like
also being
Microsoft,
a PC means they don't skip no meals. If it's gonna come to a PC platform, you're gonna be able to play it on Xbox. Period. And there's nothing anybody can do
yep,
about that. That is how you get
yep.
around these publishers not releasing games on your platform. They're gonna have to skip the PC version. Who's
I
willing to do
mean, the PC version is not. I mean, because the thing about it is, like, they both the Xbox and the PC don't use DirectX directly.
Yep.
Even with the AMD format, they're able to no, sorry, because even though the Xbox and AMD format, somehow the language they're able to transfer it very easily because at the end of the day, it's all Microsoft. Microsoft going to make sure that all their shit works together, no problem.
I am actually going to
So,
disagree with you guys, though. I think
yeah.
Xbox going third party was actually a brilliant move. Because the reason that is brilliant is because had everything gone exclusive, there would still be a good amount of people who would not move over to the Xbox. A good amount of people would.
Man.
A good amount of people would. But it probably wouldn't have been enough to make them the market leader on consoles. Probably wouldn't have been enough. Like let's say they're at 40 million now. I don't know the last number. Let's say if they made everything exclusive, let's say they got to 70 million based off of that. 60, 70. Still wouldn't have necessarily made them the market leader. Would have put them like a little bit short of PlayStation. Right? So, you know,
I mean,
it would have got them close to PlayStation, but now that they are full third party, they've made the PlayStation Store their store to where they are dominating, and they are dominating to the point that Sony titles are no longer important to the masses on that system. We're not talking about Twitter. We're talking about real dollars and cents that people of the PlayStation community, where are they putting their money? Where are they investing their money on the PlayStation Store? What are they buying? They are buying Xbox games. They're not buying PlayStation games. So what they are doing is they are killing PlayStation from the inside on the first party front. Like if Xbox had stayed exclusive, for instance, no matter how successful Forza got, Gran Turismo would still have a space to thrive and succeed. Now that Forza Horizon is on the PlayStation, Gran Turismo has
an open world racing game.
There's a very strong chance that Gran Turismo will not have a place to thrive and succeed anymore. It may become a dead franchise because of how powerful the Forza brand is. What if Forza Horizon does so well that they say, hey, throw Motorsport over there too? and Motorsport does compete directly with Gran Turismo, and because of the brand association of just Forza plus Forza Horizon, if they have a strong brand, they have a strong brand association. The people that love Forza Horizon are gonna buy Forza Motorsport. So then you're cutting very much directly into Gran Turismo's player base, even more so than you were with Horizon. So in that way, you are killing off PlayStation's first party from the inside. I think we've seen Microsoft do this before outside of gaming, where they have just killed off other software applications by putting their software in the same space that software is starting to or is successful.
Or just buying it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they've made them obsolete overnight. And I kind of think in a lot of ways that is happening on the PlayStation side, because they are doing it to PlayStation when PlayStation's at their weakest point first party wise.
Yep.
So
now see if they drop something like Halo or something on that side, what is Sony going to do as far as an in-house shooter to combat that? They're not going to have
Killzone kills. I mean, they can bring back Killzone.
We've been talking about Killzone trying to kill Halo for how many years? It never happened.
I
Doesn't
know,
matter.
but I'm just saying.
We
can bring back SOCOM.
It's not
they
it's
won't
not
bring back
happen.
SOCOM. If they wanted to bring back SOCOM, they would have brought back SOCOM by now.
All right, I'll say this.
I know, okay, wishful thinking.
Those games would have had a chance at being successful if they were a part of the original 10 live service games they planned on making. But they weren't. And now that Xbox is in their house and just running amok with all of these games that whatever games they decide to release over there is instantly top 10 in the store. If Master Chief Collection makes its way over to the PlayStation Store, I know nobody wants to see Master Chief over there, but if he makes it over there, that essentially kills everything.
It's over.
Yes.
It's over.
It kills everything. So, it's like you make a Destiny 3, no one will care. You make, because at this point, Bungie has lost so much of its base, no one will care if Destiny 3 comes out, if that were to happen. So what Microsoft is doing is very Trojan horse like it's like a Trojan horse virus at this point, basically. And like I said, I think it was the best move for them long term. I think eventually people are going to put 2 and 2 together, the casual audience, and they will realize that they can save a lot of money and have a better overall gaming experience on the Xbox platform. I just do. And then as they add multiple store integration and things like that, I think people will be able to I think people will be willing to leave their old libraries behind, or just kind of keep their current hardware and be like, all right, the PlayStation 5 will last me for however long it lasts me. I still have my old library, but from now on I'm moving on with Xbox. And then with Xbox, we're hearing about this next Xbox and it having multi-store integration. Well, what is PlayStation doing right now behind the scenes? They're making their own PC app. So, that's
been in the works for so long, man.
Yeah, but it's been in the work. It's been in the works for so long. It eventually has to come out, correct? So at some point, it's going to come out.
Otherwise, it's sunk cost.
Yes. So
I mean,
so
yeah.
All right, let's say 2029. By 2029, I would assume that PlayStation will have their own PC app. When that app is accessible, on this new hybrid Xbox that people are talking about, and you can access your full PlayStation library that you had on this Xbox hybrid PC device, what keeps you attached to PlayStation at that point when you were on PlayStation just buying Xbox games? But I can go
DualSense controller.
But I can go to Xbox. It's a PC hybrid. So who's to say you can't bring your PlayStation controller over to the PC hybrid? if it's truly PC, if it's truly a console
if it's
PC
truly PC, I'm about to say
yeah.
drivers is a big thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's truly a PC hybrid, who's to say you can't bring your DualSense controller over? I mean, I'm just
DualSense works in Windows. When Microsoft has a way to make DualSense work, they do.
so
It works in
I'm
Windows.
No, Microsoft does, yes, but actually no, Microsoft has yet to make a lot of developers on the PC and has not taken advantage of the DualSense controller. Some of them have started to take the advantage of them, but not enough.
Well, guess what? PlayStation hasn't taken advantage of the DualSense controller.
Well, that's true too.
How many PlayStation first party games really take advantage of the DualSense? Where it's like a fundamental, like it's such a unique experience that like, oh my gosh, like these other developers should be doing what PlayStation's doing right now. And nobody's saying that when Spider-Man came out, like, oh my gosh, this is such a unique experience with the DualSense. I can't imagine playing it with a different controller. We're not hearing that.
I will. Yeah, what I will say is that on the PC end, if you do plug it into your PC, like directly plug it in, there's actually games with native PlayStation or DualSense support and the haptic feedback triggers. Well, they don't work that well. They don't work at all on PC.
And then like, I mean, the DualSense does do some unique, cool things. Like if you play without your headphones, sometimes you get to hear sounds come from the controller that kind of like create a higher.
PC players don't get that.
Create a higher level of immersion. That does happen with some games, but it's far and few between. And in most cases, a lot of gamers play their games with headphones on anyway. Most people are playing their games with headphones on or some sort of Dolby surround sound or something like that, to where they don't really get to hear the sounds that are coming from their controller anyway. So while yes, it can enhance your experience, like I said, most people are playing with a headphone. We're playing with headphones on that give you that 5.1 surround sound. Sony sells headphones, and then you got Turtle Beach and all these other people. So like the DualSense, the advantages and the integration of it into video games it hasn't been enough to where the DualSense features are worth it. You just might like the feel of the controller.
Yeah, I mean that's all it comes down to is feel the controller.
Yeah.
And then Hyperkin, even though Hyperkin still is coming out with that PlayStation style controller for Xbox and PC, hasn't come out yet. Still wait for it to come out. I'm actually going to review that controller. I'm curious.
Yeah.
And I find it funny.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I do think Xbox. I mean, all these damn games. I've already said I think they're gonna release about 15 games this year. But I think their strategy is perfect right now, because if you're gonna release 15 games, you can't tell me that releasing 15 exclusives on a yearly basis. I don't think this is a 1-year thing. I think this is just the beginning. I think this is going to be kind of an annual thing. Plus the live service updates to all these games that you're doing every year. So it's it's really like 20 plus new experiences you're giving gamers. On a yearly basis. I just can't see a world where being exclusive with all of those titles would have made sense.
Yeah.
So it's not like Xbox doesn't have exclusives. They still have exclusives dropping this year. But they also have a lot of third-party games that they're dropping. Like South of Midnight is a console exclusive. Avowed is a console exclusive. Like, they have exclusives, and they're gonna have more exclusives that they drop this year. We just don't quite know about them yet, but they're gonna have more exclusives. So, they're gonna have more third party. It's just kind of the way it works. I think they're gonna have about 4 exclusives in any given year. I would say between 3 and 4 exclusives and 10 to 11 third party games. That's kind of what I think is going to be like the norm for them going forward. But also we're seeing them dig into their back catalog and move kind of those games over to PlayStation. Like they're like everything that PlayStation is getting isn't necessarily brand new. Like
it's old.
You're getting
there ain't
Doom,
no way to get new stuff.
You're getting Doom Dark Ages.
They're getting
That's
Doom.
new. You're getting Forza Horizon, which is like 3-4 years old. Indy, which is a Disney
Still a good
property.
game.
Most
Fortunately, that game didn't do well,
most of
even
the
though it's a good story.
most of the games they got last year were older titles, like Pentiment and Hi-Fi Rush was a couple years old by the time they got it. What else? I mean, if they get Starfield, how old is Starfield now? I'm just thinking most of the games they're getting are older. They're not necessarily getting the new stuff. Outside of Doom the Dark Ages is the only brand new game they've been guaranteed to get day one. That's the only one so far. Everything else, Outer Worlds 2 is not guaranteed that they're going to get that game day and date, but they are it's already been confirmed that it will be on PlayStation. So it's like a interesting place. I think they know what they're doing, and I think it is smart when you're going to be releasing that much content and you're still very much interested in purchasing more publishers to release even more content and to make your subscription service and your offerings just that much more significant. I think it's smart because I will say I think by somewhere between August and October we're gonna get another publisher purchase announcement. I think
You know what?
I think we will.
You know what? At this rate, Sony's not gonna be able to sell the PlayStation at a loss anymore.
They stopped selling it at a loss a long time ago. That's why the PlayStation price keeps going up. They just did a price increase in a whole bunch of countries on the hardware. I think Canada the prices went up. Most of the European countries the prices went up. Australia the console hardware prices went up again. Like they're not selling at a loss on the PlayStation 5. So
yeah, we already know. Yeah, so we already know Nintendo's now. So yeah, Microsoft was actually smart by focusing on the software.
yeah, I like I said, I think it's gonna. I think what they're doing is pretty smart. I can't knock them for what they are doing at the moment. I know us as console warriors who want our platform to do the best. As far as the hardware sales, I know it kind of hurts that, but the Xbox platform is it's bigger than its hardware now. It's a whole ecosystem that is permeating everything from PC to tablet to mobile to TV. I mean, literally their goal is to make every device a Xbox, and they're kind of doing that. So I can't say it's a bad strategy, especially if you're going to be releasing this many games. And imagine if they purchase another publisher. Like, imagine if they purchase Sega. How many games does Sega? How many games does Sega release a year on average? Like 5 or 6.
Sega is actually releasing a arcade racing game that's actually taking its inspiration from all their previous racing games.
Yeah, but I'm saying on average, Sega releases about 5 or 6 games a year. They like release like a Yakuza game. They release some sort of Sonic game. They'll release some sort of RPG. And they release a couple of like AA games. They release about, I would say they release about what, any like 5, 6, 7 games a year. So if Xbox is at 15 without Sega, and then they purchase a Sega, that's like what? They're like 22, 23 games a year on like that you can like guarantee are coming year in and year out. That would be crazy output. And they're expanding Activision's output. Activision is no longer just Call of Duty anymore. They're starting to make other games. So you're gonna get to the point where Xbox you're about to get to the point where Xbox may be releasing like 30 plus games a year. Some AA, some AAA, some more of an indie feel. Some are just DLC updates. I mean, it's about to get really crazy over here at Xbox, especially, like I said, they probably are going to purchase at least one more publisher, and it's probably going to be an Eastern publisher just so that they have all their regions covered as far as the type of games that they make. So, like I said, if they purchase Sega, that's a whole lot of games. If they purchase Square Enix, that's a whole lot of games. If if they do the impossible and purchase a Capcom, that's a shit ton of games. Like, and
Wow, that
if you're living in that world as Microsoft, you can't make everything exclusive. You just can't. Not yet.
It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense until y'all got market share and shit. You can't do it.
See, the reason that I think there's a very specific reason they signed those 10-year deals, and I think that Microsoft has a understanding of where technology is going to be at in 10 years. And I think in 10 years, consoles, the way that we know them, may not be a thing. And it may just be like whatever your favorite store is, you'll have access to it on any device. So, like, you'll be able to access Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, pretty much all on the same device. Like, it may not be like it may not be Nintendo releasing hardware and Xbox releasing hardware and PlayStation releasing hardware anymore in 10 years. It might just be your TV has a 4 terabyte hard drive inside of it, and you can access all those stores and play the games natively off your TV or, you know, whatever other device you prefer. So I think they signed those. I think they signed those deals kind of knowing that that might be where the future is in 10 years. And so once those 10 years are up, they can make everything exclusive because the hardware that you play it on, it won't matter. Like, you'll be able to access all the stores. So you have to go specifically to the Xbox store to buy it. It doesn't really matter because you can access the Xbox and PlayStation store on the same device. Like, kind of thing. Like, you know, kind of like, you know, but, you know, I know some people are like, the game doesn't release until it's on my platform, you know, as far as like when you think about Steam and Epic. That might be a thing. Well, who knows in 10 years? People may not feel the same way that they do now, especially if like there's some sort of unified launcher in 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, for all we know, Microsoft might end up owning Steam in 10 years. You never fucking know.
I do think
Anything can happen.
I do think once Gabe decides to retire, he will sell Steam to Xbox or Microsoft. I do think that will happen.
Yep.
I think it just makes sense in a way. Like, you know, he'll maintain his because he worked for Microsoft. He got rich off of Microsoft. So when he's done, why wouldn't he sell it to Microsoft if he's not
continue the strategy of getting rich with Microsoft?
Yeah, like, I'm just saying, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he retire in that way? And then the whole board because I think Valve is publicly traded also. Why wouldn't they all want to be extra rich? You know, like these outside of Gabe, I don't think all of those people are just so committed to the gaming industry that, you know, there's no way we would sell and move on and enjoy our billions. You know, I don't think that. So I do think
you're spitting right now.
Yeah, I think when Gabe's ready to be done, he will sell. But I think right now he enjoys what he's doing and he enjoys, you know, his role in the gaming industry. But when the time comes, I assume he will exit the gaming industry and sell to Microsoft. I just kind of see it making sense for them. That you can kind of roll all these stores up into one and kind of, you know, dominate the way Microsoft likes to dominate. So I do kind of see that being a thing. But I mean, it's kind of crazy seeing like one of the, you know, GOAT RPGs as far as most people are concerned, like some of the greatest RPGs of all time, one of them being remade and being re-released by Xbox. I think that's really cool. Yep. Especially we're seeing it on the Western front where, you know, a game like Final Fantasy VII Remake is we're seeing that unfold. We're hearing rumors of like Final Fantasy IX. We're seeing Lunar get re-released. So we're seeing a lot of these like great games of our past, you know, on the Western side, on the Eastern side, all kind of starting to re-release. We're seeing Resident Evil games getting remade, Silent Hill. it's like we're kind of reliving a golden era of gaming again, while still getting new games. So it's really a really great place that gaming is in. It's just that we gotta see PlayStation and Nintendo kind of catch up. I don't really feel like Nintendo's behind. They're just kicking off a new platform, and the new games aren't quite ready yet. I'm sure they'll be ready in a year or two. But I think that's, most new platforms don't have a ton of games when they first drop. That's kind of,
Yep. Especially when you can rely on your back catalog, because maybe
yeah,
those games didn't run as effectively as you wanted
yeah.
them to.
But I mean, I think people have this like weird, or like they have this, I don't know, this fog of memory, like when they bought a PlayStation 3 or a PlayStation 2 or N64 or the original Xbox, that there was just this vast catalog, Xbox 360, that there was just this vast catalog of first party titles that were there, day one. Like that just was not a thing. So they usually start off a little slow, but after a couple of years, they get rocking and rolling. I expect the same thing, for a Switch. Um, let's see what Yobi's talking about here. I don't know if y'all knew, back in January, Xbox unlocked the series consoles to support bigger external hard drives that go beyond 12 terabytes. I believe it's for the future arrival of Steam on their console.
Yep.
Yeah, we're tracking that.
Yeah,
I'm
must
not.
say,
I don't know if Steam makes it to the Xbox Series X. I don't know if it makes it to that, but whatever.
well, Steam's doing something where Steam has a partner with Microsoft right now. They're trying to work on something to make it where Steam and Xbox can access the same games no matter where you're at.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I just don't know if that integration will make it to the series consoles. It may be whatever they're planning for 2026 or 2027. I don't, I know they're planning on doing this backwards and forwards compatible. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But it's like, like certain features, I'm not sure if the series is capable of it. You know what I'm saying? Versus like,
they can optimize it.
They could, but like if a game like, for instance, Black Myth Wukong, it's not on the Xbox, but it's on Steam. I don't see the Xbox Series X being able to natively play a game off of Steam like Black Myth Wukong on the Xbox Series X. But I could see it being on.
I got you.
I could see that being a thing on the new Xbox, because the new Xbox is being made specifically to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with it. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just curious to see if they're able to pull that off. I mean, Xbox has wonderful engineers, who we've saw pull off some amazing things, like with the Xbox backwards compatibility program. So I'm not gonna put it past them, but I'm just not sure how that's gonna work. I think we'll get the first taste of of what that future looks like whenever this Asus handheld comes out. If there's some sort of crossover on that.
There was already in Microsoft a handheld, literally was just a Windows handheld. There was an Xbox, so-called Xbox handheld that came out recently that partnered with Asus. It's literally just a handheld thing, Xbox handheld. It wasn't like a dedicated Xbox UI or anything like that.
Yeah, but this new one, this new one is supposed to have some sort of Xbox UI in it. We're supposed to be hearing about it in the next like month and a half. Like I think we're supposed to hear about it in May. I think Asus is having an event where we're gonna get. They did like a little pre-advertisement for it a couple weeks ago. So we're supposed to hear about it. We're supposed to hear about it soon. So we'll see. But
Nintendo's just getting all the competition today.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think we'll know a little bit more about Steam and Xbox's partnership when this handheld comes out. I think
Do we have any predictions for? Do we have any predictions for the show tomorrow?
I
Outside of them showing Oblivion, like what if they're like, "Hey, Elder Scrolls 6, here's a release year."
no
Oh my
Elder
god.
Scrolls 6 is such a big game. It'll be saved for their showcase. If we're gonna see it, it's gonna be June 8th. If we're gonna see it this year, it'll be June 8th.
They could still give us a teaser and be like, "Hey, tune in June 8th for more
No,
information on
they
this."
want they're gonna want that shock and awe surprise media
I got you.
coverage. You know, like they're gonna want they're gonna want that Gears of War E-Day reaction for Elder Scrolls 6. You
You know
know,
what's sad?
Fair.
I have a feeling that they're not going to do Elder Scrolls 6 at least this year because of so many games are publishing. I don't think they're going to tease
well,
it
if the
at
game
all.
if Elder Scrolls 6 is 2 years out, if it's 2 years out, they'll show it.
Yeah, I don't think it's 2 years out. I don't even think they started it yet.
Oh, I think they definitely started it. Because they showed they showed Elder Scrolls 6 promo material like 3 years ago.
Yeah, they did.
Before Xbox purchased them, they were showing Elder Scrolls 6 material. So they definitely started on it. I don't know how deep they are in their development, but they started at some level on that game. Like I said, if it's like 2 years out, I think it'll show. Like Gears of War E-Day is presumably coming out next year. So
I can't wait for that.
which they showed last year, which would mean it'd be about 2 years out. And Fable, they showed 2 years ago. It was supposed to come out this year, got pushed to next year. So I would assume within the next 18 months we're gonna get Gears, Fable, Perfect Dark, and State of Decay based on like they've re-showed all those titles very recently.
Yeah.
So that would be my assumption that you would get those games over the next 18 months.
All right, I can see that.
Which would be pretty crazy because that's like a lot of their heavy hitters. I'm not gonna say it's all their heavy hitters because they have a lot. They got a lot of heavy hitters now, but it's a lot of them. And to release them in 1 year, you can release one a season. You can start the year off with I guess what would make sense to start the year off with? Probably Fable. Wouldn't Fable make the most sense to release like in like the
And January, the first season,
like,
between
January and March? It's more of like a spring.
I can see Fable coming out like earliest will be March, like at the beginning of spring because of the type of game it is.
Yeah, and then you'd have to release a game between January and March. So I guess Fable could be one, and then State of Decay would probably release in the fall because that's kind of like your horror months. So fall would probably be State of Decay, and Gears of War would also probably be your fall winter months. And then what other game did we say? Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark might be your summer game. That might be your game that you release between like May and July. Like it might take that Doom slot. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, maybe because summertime's a weird time to release games. Actually, it's like because everybody's outside more often during the summertime, and that's when like people are less likely to play video games because
that's why I said like May, like April, Mayish time frame would be that. Like Doom is releasing next couple weeks, May 15th.
Well, I mean, and I also think Doom is that style of game where you can jump in, do a quick mission, and jump out.
I think Perfect
Dark. The new Perfect Dark is a remake of the Perfect Dark.
It's a new Perfect Dark. I mean, I know it has a story to it, probably more of a story than Doom does, but
it's actually it's honestly a reboot. It's not a sequel.
Yeah,
it's a reboot.
Yeah, it's a reboot.
Yes.
Okay. So the reboot, yeah, you might be able to jump in and jump out because that's why I say like Doom is actually good for a summer release because Doom is the type of game jump in, you can clear a mission in 10 or 15 minutes, you could jump out and still like go outside. You can't put a heavy story game in the summertime. It's not going to do well.
Well,
in my opinion,
a lot of RPGs, a lot of the big RPGs release in the summertime.
Like,
Final Fantasy 15.
and look how that did.
It did
15.
well. It did well in the first month.
15 did well. Not 16, 15.
15 did they really do well in the first month?
15 is the
15.
highest selling Final Fantasy game.
It's the
What
best
do you
selling.
mean?
It's the best selling Final Fantasy of all time.
Let's see. Maybe I am wrong.
16 released in the summertime too, and it did well in its release month. It just after the release month, nobody bought the game basically.
That's kind of weird. That's a weird statement. You say everyone bought the game, and then no one bought the game.
Everyone who bought the game the first month it came out. So like they sold like 3 million copies. They sold like 3 million copies the first month, and then after that, like a year later, they were still on like 3 million copies.
Well, that means that they sold it to whoever wants to play it.
Yeah.
Again, all the people outside. And if it ain't 2K or Madden or Call of Duty, you ain't getting their attention during the summertime.
Let's see.
Final
Fantasy 15 released in November. But I did mean 16 when I said that. But
yeah, 15. Yeah, I was looking that up too because I was gonna say, did it release in summer? No, I see. Yeah, it released in November. PC got it a year later. PC got it in the summertime. That's interesting. Okay.
But yeah,
why they do that?
But it is the most successful.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense for the release. But if Perfect Dark is just a remake, then yeah, I can definitely see it being released in the summertime. It's a game you can easily jump in and out of.
Yeah, Perfect Dark's going to be an interesting game.
It is. I wonder how the new audience is going to treat it. I wonder how
the old audience is going to treat it, because I know it's going to be so much different than anything we played on N64 and even the Xbox 360 one. I know it's going to be so much different. Games were so different back then. Like Perfect Dark wasn't a story heavy intensive game back in 2006, 2007 when it came out. And it wasn't a big story heavy intensive game on the N64. So this is going to be a very story rich title when it releases.
I couldn't tell you what the Perfect Dark story was on N64. I just played the multiplayer, man.
Yeah, the multiplayer was fun.
I couldn't tell you how the GoldenEye story went because I did not. Outside of bungee jumping off the dam, I didn't play it. And the scientist mission. I didn't play it in the story.
I played GoldenEye, the story mode, and I still couldn't tell you what it was about. I could tell you I can't even tell you what the movie GoldenEye is about. I mean, I watched James Bond movies, but for me to tell you what, there's been so many of them that I can't.
There were so many James Bonds that they made.
I can tell you what the last 3 were loosely about. You know, the Daniel Craig ones because they're kind of recent. But if you ask me, about the Pierce Brosnan ones, I watched all the Pierce Brosnan ones. I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't watched Die Another Day? Like there's so many, you know.
I know I watched the one with Halle Berry. I know I watched that one.
That was Die Another Day. I remember because I had a cousin who really loved Halle Berry.
Yeah, I know I watched that
one. That was like her prime. That was like when she was in her prime.
Yeah, I know I watched that one. I know I watched GoldenEye, but I can't tell you what GoldenEye was about now because it was like 20 years ago when I watched it. So
yeah,
you know,
I think summer game. If you're gonna release a game in the summertime, if you release a story intensive game during the summertime, you're crazy. It better be I
don't know,
really good story.
Like games like Star Ocean, Final Fantasies, a lot of JRPGs release in the summer. And those are all story intensive games. A lot of JRPGs release in the summer.
Let's see, because it's. Let me see what JRPGs released in the summer. Because the summer month I know is like a weird month to release like story based games. Okay, so there was JRPGs that were released in the summer.
Yeah, I'm about to say because I remember like getting out of school as a kid in the summertime, and there would always be a new JRPG for me to play. that I
Yeah,
bought.
the summer makes sense. Honestly, I don't think releasing a long game in the summer is a bad thing because kids have time to play those things.
Yeah,
Teenagers
I
have
mean,
time to beat those games because there's no
well,
school.
well, they are out of school. That does make sense. Just
I
usually they'll be out. They're usually outside.
When
Like,
when do
well,
Pokemon
okay.
usually drop? Do they not usually drop in the summertime when the
I
kids are
don't.
out of school?
I haven't played Pokemon in a minute. Like the last RPG that released in the summertime was Metaphor, which Metaphor actually is a good game because it's a turn-based combat. I think turn-based combats are good for summer release because you get to control the flow of the game and control the flow of the dialogue and everything. So that makes sense.
I think a lot of to me a lot of JRPGs have released in the summertime. I'm not saying that like all of them do, but there's a fair amount.
Grand Blue Fantasy Relink released. That's actually a good game to release in summertime because that's a mission-based game and you could complete a mission in 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
mean,
actually, no. So yeah, there's a few that make sense, but I guess I guess maybe because I'm an adult and I look at that from an adult perspective.
yeah,
I don't have time because I gotta take family members onto the beaches and stuff in summertime. It's not like I could just sit down and do nothing. I
yeah.
still gotta work.
See, like for adults, winter is the best time to game because everyone stays in the house. Nobody feels like going anywhere. But for a kid, probably the summertime is
It's
the
the
best.
summertime. I played all my games as a kid in the summertime because that's when I had time.
You don't have any
Mm-hmm.
homework. You know,
Yep.
you
Yeah,
have
we all got.
you have looser bedtime restrictions in the summertime typically.
Yep.
You know, if your bedtime is
Yep.
8 o'clock, if your bedtime is 8 o'clock during the school year, it's 10 o'clock during the summer. You know, like stuff like that.
Oh man, I remember summertime. I fell asleep with my N64 on. I was trying to beat you. I remember I was playing Yoshi. My dad got mad at me because I left it. I fell asleep on the couch with the N64 on playing Yoshi.
Yeah, I would fall asleep I play RPGs and fall asleep with the controller in my hand all the time when I was a kid. Yeah, especially weekends and summer. Yeah, I was falling asleep with the controller in
Yeah.
my hand. I was
Too bad
gaming.
we're adult. Well, too bad we're adults now.
Well,
Man.
now there's more tools available to me to stay awake during my gaming sessions than what I had as a child. You can go grab a coffee or energy drink or
Yeah. I'm trying to stay away from that stuff.
uh,
Turns Doctor told
As a
told me.
kid, it was Mountain Dew.
yeah, it was Mountain
Oh
Dew. But,
God.
but but I'm just saying
Oh.
like when what was it when Final Fantasy VII remake came out? I didn't go to sleep till I beat the game. Like the first couple nights I was chilling, but like after Cloud fell into the church, I didn't sleep until I beat the game. So I like stayed awake for like 2 days straight.
Mm.
Yeah.
Probably had a call.
That is also like, isn't that like, if not your favorite, like one of your favorite games of all time?
It's like one of my favorite games of all time. So I was like, I'm gonna beat this. I was like, because you knew the plate fall was coming. You went to can't think of the damn place right now. Walmart. Walmart. Like it was like right before you went to Walmart and stuff like that. You fought Reno and Rude for the first time. Like it was a good time to like just kind of push through the game. And that's like probably like 15, 20 hours in. So it was like another like 30 hours that I played. And I stayed awake for the whole 30.
I mean, hey, when Kingdom Hearts 3 first came out on PC, I beat that in one weekend. Literally 2 days.
But like,
I mean, I beat Kingdom Hearts 2 in like 2 days. So,
I mean, like I said, we have those marathon runs sometimes.
And I maxed out. Like I character maxed out. I did I think I did all. Yeah, I did all the side bosses too.
I'll tell you what though,
in 2 days I was all over that shit.
When this third Final Fantasy comes out, I will not be playing that game nonstop until I beat it because I already know that shit is going to be long. Because Rebirth was long as shit. So.
I still haven't finished it. Actually, I removed all my mods because I was like, let me stop playing with Sephiroth.
Yeah, I mean,
I kept Sephiroth like quarter way through the story.
It's a long game.
No, If you
especially
want
when
to
you
speed run it, you play as Sephiroth.
especially when you got to
I
go
mean,
through all those when you got to go through those biomes and find all of those 30 points within each and every
yeah.
biome. That's
What was actually weird is even if you do the mod with Sephiroth, he actually levels up with the rest of your characters, but he keeps his OP stats, which is like wild.
he levels up, but he doesn't get any new abilities. Tragic.
No, he does. He does not get any new abilities, but his stats do go up, and he doesn't need any new abilities anyway.
I know he doesn't need
He's
them,
already.
but it's like it's just cool to see like new shit. More like
It
cool
is.
factor than anything, like because you don't really need. I don't think any of the characters really need new abilities as they get stronger. They don't. There's no ability that I can think of that's like, oh, this really changed the game for me throughout my gameplay. I mean, some of the summons did, or some of the material you picked up did, but like not any of like the dual moves that you pick up, or even any of the what is it? Any of the limit breaks. I think, well, Aerith's limit break is pretty badass because her limit break gave everyone a limit break. So that'd be pretty dope. Now with your mods of having your whole, you can fight with your whole party on PC, right? If you choose to.
I haven't seen a mod that lets you play with all the party members. I'm still stuck to 3. If they did create a mod for all 5 party members, that would be wild. That would be overkill.
I thought they did make a mod where you can play with all your party members.
If they did, I haven't used it yet, or I haven't found it yet. Actually, I can check and see if they have it. But yeah, if you can have a mod where you play with all 5 party members, that's honestly overkill, and that will make me breeze through the game. It'll be more. It'll be fun.
It would make you breeze through the game if you had Aerith's limit break where she can give, because there is a way to give her. There is a way that she can give everyone their limit break, and then after she gives everyone their limit break, you can take another person's limit break and give it back to Aerith. And then she can give everyone, and she can just keep giving everyone their limit break over and over and over again.
I heard about that strategy.
That sounds
but if you had a full party of like 5 or 6 characters, then you'd have access to 4 limit breaks at all times.
I know. I didn't want to abuse it. That
would be. But I'm saying that would be crazy. There would be no.
That would
like the
that is overkill galore.
It's actually not overkill if you're gonna do the combat simulator challenges. Because the combat
simulator challenge is slightly difficult. They're not too. As soon as you figure out their patterns, they're pretty easy.
No,
but yeah, having 5 party members.
It's not a matter of the individual boss being easy or hard. It's the fact that you got to go through like 7 waves, and if you lose once, you got to go through all 7 waves again. That's where it gets you. So
yeah, the good thing Kingdom Hearts 3 critical mode. All their data bosses have trained me up for that moment. Now, trust me, I was trying to get that no damage data run things, and I got really good at dodging. Piccolo would have been proud of me.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. But Square Enix think you guys make good hack and slash games, because
I don't know. I struggled with Sephiroth in the first game. I pieced his ass up in the second game for revenge.
Yeah, the first game, it was. I would say it was hard when I was a kid, but it was easy when I was an adult. It's hard. If that makes sense.
And remake
Kingdom Hearts 2 Sephiroth was literally a pushover compared to Kingdom Hearts 1 Sephiroth.
I'm about to say,
I didn't break a sweat.
Remake Sephiroth was hard depending on who you got in your party on the final battle, because you could get
I'm gonna say Sephiroth and Kingdom Hearts 1. It's a 1-on-1 fight. Both games are 1-on-1s.
Well,
there's no party member.
Like I said, By the time I had fought Sephiroth in 2, I had already maxed out like the master form and shit. Like I did the trick where you go like to different locations in Pirates of the Caribbean to level up. I maxed all of my forms just doing that, and then the rest of the
I
game
didn't.
was a breeze. Like I made him my bitch on purpose.
I did not. I actually, when I fought Sephiroth, I didn't even get the master form. I mean, I got master form. I didn't get final form. I just.
Yep, I had
I,
everything maxed out way before I got there.
no, I just learned his patterns and just went to town.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're over leveled, you don't have to learn patterns. You just hit him in the face and he dies.
Okay, I mean that is true, but you know, me. I gotta give him a chance to fight back.
The only mod that
I wasn't trying to have it.
The only mod I would really love in Final Fantasy is to have like 1,000,000 magnify materials.
Yeah, I don't do. The only time I ever did like a resource mod is for Assassin's Creed Valhalla because I was not grinding all that shit. The amount of grind in that game was terrible, and I will proudly say I used Cheat Engine and gave myself 999 of every item, and I don't care.
I'm gonna grind it out. I hate it.
Y'all can
I don't
enjoy
want
that.
to, but I must.
But
They
I know we
got
gotta go.
so you can put effect and or autocast on any materia without like comboing it. That's crazy. You fuck up. Yeah, I would do damage with that.
I might say, let me. Are you on the Nexus site? Because that's where majority of the mods are.
Yeah, I'm on
It's
Nexus,
on Nexus mods.
Yeah, I'm on Nexus mods.
Yep, that is good old Nexus mod. Never let you down.
Riven, Fort Condor. Instant.
I think we're gonna get more. I think we're gonna get more than Oblivion surprises tomorrow. That's just how I feel about it. We'll see.
I think we'll get a glimpse at the new Fallout. Apparently,
okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that.
Are we ready for a new? Actually, no. It's time for a new Fallout because Fallout
4 came out how long ago? And 76 is
Fallout.
We're not talking about.
Well, we're not talking about a new Fallout. Fallout 3 is apparently being remade as well, so you might get a glimpse of that.
If we get all of the DLC, because Operation Anchorage on a console worth a damn now is going to be great.
Yeah.
No, we'll see. We'll definitely see tomorrow.
Oh, all right. Yeah, here it is. Most combative team members mod. This mod makes the AI controlled team members more combative. So it's like maybe you can't control them all, but they actually they really do their moves and they really do like damage.
Oh, that's funny because they got the same mods for Kingdom Hearts where those are combat competitive mods where they make them more aggressive and attack everything. So that's pretty cool.
Well, in like the regular game, they do damage, but it's very minimal damage that they do. So maybe with that all combative mod, maybe like they actually cast spells. Like if you have like auto cast on them, they'll actually auto cast moves and stuff like that, and like really do like legitimate damage.
Yeah, I'm looking through some of them. Most of this just clothing, but yeah, I see what you're talking about. Unlock all items, reskins, clothing, play as Zack. That's funny. Have Zack as your main character, and then because Zack actually doesn't work as good as an AI.
Yeah,
which unfortunately sucks because he doesn't have AI. But no, I mean, yeah, that's just how I play games. I mean, the only mod I had on there was basically to have Sephiroth as a playable character and a member of my party.
Well,
when I
buy it for PC, I don't know if I'm gonna buy it for PC because I'm waiting for the Xbox showcase to see if it finally makes it over to Xbox. And if it makes it over to Xbox, it's a good chance that it's play anywhere. But I do know that on the Xbox app, it's a lot harder to install mods.
Yeah, it is. And matter of fact, majority of mods don't even work on the Xbox store case. Actually, it's like tied to your the way how they do it. It's like you have to have admin permissions on your computer because your games are like tied to your Microsoft account, which is also tied to your Windows account. Which, yeah, they made it makes sense of why the security is there, but I wish that the Xbox account wasn't necessarily tied to your Microsoft account, which is tied to your Windows and modern that game, and you have to go through all the crazy folders to just find one file to replace.
Yeah. So, but they're saying that with the improvements to the Xbox app that they're making, they're gonna make it more mod friendly in the future. So we'll see. But I'm not.
So,
but if I buy Final Fantasy Rebirth for PC, I'm definitely using all the mods because I've already got my sweat equity in the game. I don't need to grind and do all that bullshit twice. I just want to play it and enjoy the story. I don't want to have to grind and do all that bullshit again.
I understand. You can make this. Of course, they got the Sephiroth Ronald McDonald.
Yeah.
That was like they actually carried that mod over from the first game to the second game, and it just worked out very well. It just fit perfectly.
And if I buy it on PC, I'm definitely wearing all the Advent children outfits for Cloud and Tifa. I already know that.
As you should.
I'm gonna say there are so many different outfits for them. It's someone made a pixelated asset thing where basically all the characters are like they're live pixelated versions of themselves, but the way how their bodies are, it's all distorted and doesn't make any sense.
And then they said that there's a Cloud's motorcycle mod where you can ride the buggy or the motorcycle.
Yep,
I would do that mod for sure.
Yep, there is so many outfits. Majority of it is basic. But there is a lot of different mods and so many mods it doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
From swapping skins to changing gameplay to get access to characters you're not supposed to have access to. That's just why I love PC. But if you do get it, always get it on Steam. Never get it on the Xbox Store because Xbox Store you can't mod. Steam Store makes it 10 times easier to mod.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm definitely getting it on Xbox, so I want to play it on my Xbox.
I understand.
I'll rebuy Wukong if it ever drops on Xbox. Like I don't mind rebuying this game. I will buy 16 again. I will buy. I don't mind. I will buy
so
Final Fantasy VII Remake again.
The only thing I want if I buy it, so if it's Play Anywhere, can I get the save file from Nexus Mods and put it on the Xbox app? Would that be pretty easy?
Ooh, so the way how save files work when it comes to PC is like you have to overwrite your save file with that downloaded save file.
Yeah.
And then you have to get it connected to the internet to make it back itself up. Yeah. And then that's how that works.
I would definitely do that because like I said, I don't want to sweat through this game again. Like finding all the biome stuff over again. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, there's people who make that where they will take like a save file where you start off the very beginning, but you start off with 999 everything, 99 level, 99 money, and you can just breeze through the game.
I don't need that. I just need New Game Plus with the game, like with all my stuff. I want all my money. I want all my weapons. I just want to play the game and have fun. I want all my material.
Okay, they haven't made that yet.
Already did everything. I don't need to do it again. Oh, they got Tifa in the Gant suit? Oh, I'd definitely do that.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. Nexus Mod had to get rid of a lot of Tifa's outfits because they were doing crazy. A lot of news. Asset altering. There was a lot of asset altering, and Square Enix is like, you cannot alter the assets. They did the same thing because Capcom did the same thing with their game where they made it where when the Resident Evil games come out and people were going crazy with all the Ashley assets and Resident Evil 2, they made the Ashley. Yeah, a lot of game companies can now send emails directly to Nexus Mods to tell them to take down any type of mods that they deem it inappropriate.
Yeah, if you want that salacious stuff, you got to find a Discord server.
That is true. You ain't gonna find on Nexus Mod.
If you want that salacious stuff, Discord server it is. But yeah, we went on enough tangents. We have reached close to the 3 hour mark. The show is not supposed to be that long, but hey, good
Yeah, we
times.
could.
Good times. Let's roll into our outros. Get out of here. Nappy, where can people find you, and what will you be playing this week?
All right, you guys can find me here on YouTube. If you type in Nappy Essentially in the search bar, you may find a new controller I recently reviewed, which is the company. So the company still has the name Big Big One on their store page, but apparently they changed their name to Mojon, and they told me to announce that it's a Mojon controller, not Big Big One. But I'm still gonna say Big Big One. It's the Aether controller, has an LED screen, works for PC, Nintendo Switch, iOS and Android. And the cool thing about this controller is that it is $30 USD, has Hall effect joysticks and triggers, and it's very, and I mean extremely easy to program. Also, I got Bayaton's budget-friendly controller, which I got to review, what they call the Kingpin 20. That's another controller I got to review. Of course, I got GameSir's Nova controller I got to review. On the mobile side, I have, of course, I'm working on the review of the Red Magic 10, which is actually funny because Red Magic 10 just released a light version of this phone that is smaller, that has like a smaller battery. So this one has an 8,000 milliamp battery. The smaller one has a 6,000 milliamp battery. And the Snapdragon chip, I believe, is still the Elite, but they haven't, I don't know all the specs of yet, but I'm still reviewing this phone. Definitely top of the line gaming phone, that's for sure. Emulating Windows on here. I emulated Witcher 3 on this phone. Witcher 3 runs on here. Tomb Raider runs on here. Resident Evil. I'm not Resident Evil. Metal Gear Solid. Ryzen runs on here. Yeah, this phone is it's just a powerhouse. I was surprised. So that's pretty much about it. But till then, I will see you guys next time. Continue gaming as always. I'm gonna be on Monster Hunter on a PCN, and I'm Wondering Waves on the mobile end. Wonder Waves on the mobile end. Monster Hunter on a PCN.
Okay. All right. And Jubei, where can we find you, and what will you be playing?
Yeah, you can find me at Jubei X Sensei on gaming platforms, Sensei everywhere else. I'm about to wrap Origins here, and then I will be moving on to South at Midnight. I will be playing Expedition 33 also.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time for all of this. And I think I'm also going to try to check out Sinners this week. I need to go see that movie
Okay.
for the culture.
For the culture.
All right.
Yeah, I need them to get that 90 mil. I need them to get their budget back.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Well, you can find me tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with C Money and Doodle at On Point for Gamers. Night Quest is the name of the show. You can find me there tomorrow, and I'll be working on South of Midnight, and I will be sweating for the next 20-30 minutes to see what happens with this Clippers and Denver Nuggets game, because I am extremely close to making about 15,000 a night. So let's see what happens.
Excuse
Oh
me?
shit! Oh shit! You,
Yeah,
you a
so
big spender.
I need James Harden to get 1 assist and score 2 more points. I need Harden and Kawhi each to get 1 more steal. I need Jokic and Zubac each to get 1 more rebound. I need 1 more point from Zubac. I need 6 more points from Jokic. And there's 3 minutes left in the game, and it is completely tied. So there's room for all of this to happen. There's room for overtime. So yeah, could be a great night for me. We'll see what happens.
Nah. Yeah, that's crazy.
I will throw the ticket and the group chat if it hits.
Oh shit! He's about to get a gaming PC, and all of a sudden
I will not be getting a gaming PC. I have better things to do with my potential 15 grand if it hits. Like,
Damn.
but good times if that happens. I will be grateful.
He's gonna get that new like $3,000 Traeger, yo. Like he's about to be in full dad mode.
Oh,
Oh,
my
sad.
kids walk and run now. They don't need nothing, no type of apparatus to help me get them from
No,
point A to
I'm
point.
talking about a grill. I'm talking about a grill,
Oh,
brother.
I got a grill.
Oh, you about to get?
I got a nice little charcoal grill. That's all I need.
Mm-mm. You need that smoke combo joint.
Yeah, I would like to have a
We
smoker.
my family, we just welded 2 barrels together and cut it in half and made that into a grill. So our grill is literally made out of barrels.
Okay. Hey,
That's wild.
the food gets cooked. That's all that matters.
Yeah, we cook whole goats on there, pigs. Go to PA, get a whole pig from there. You can cook it on the grill.
Oh, Zubac got my points. Okay. All right. We're getting close. And he got my rebound. We are getting close.
Jokic gonna get what you need.
Yeah, Jokic's gonna get my 6 points. Okay.
As somebody from Denver who's seen Jokic around, yes, you gonna get that.
If it goes to OT, I think he'll definitely get my points. Right now, the Clippers are up a point, so we'll see if this thing evens out. Hopefully, we get OT. OT will save
What's
me.
the series at?
It's 1-0 right now. It's game 2.
For who?
The Clippers and the Denver Nuggets.
No. Who's leading the series?
Oh, Denver won the first game.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you everyone for coming through and getting your weekly dose of that vitamin G. We are out. Peace.
Peace.
I'm sweating. I put this parlay together right before the show started.
And I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside. All alone.
I mean, it's not much fat to trim. I mean, I could have took Harden for 6 assists. I could have took Jokic for 25. He's still 1 point short of that. I could have took Jokic for 10 rebounds, and I could have took Kawhi and Harden for 1 steal. I probably would have made like 5 or 6 grand.
You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G.
But it's a tie game right now. It's 100 to 100. So, like I said, I just need overtime. If I get overtime, this ticket might definitely hit. Really, the biggest concern is the steal. If we get the steal, I think the rebound, Alright, well, we got 1 steal, but it wasn't from Harden or Kawhi. We got this big laying on the floor.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside.
They probably would have offered me a cash out at half.
All alone.
But if they would have offered me a cash out at halftime, I mean, I wasn't paying attention
All alone.
to the game during
Discussing that heat in the street. If that's just what you need on vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets.
Oh man, may the gods bless me with double OT. If I get double OT, all my numbers will hit.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside. All alone. on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna
I'm right there with you. I don't believe in censorship in video games because
all
I
alone.
feel like they should get the same grace that anime and movies get.
All alone.
Like, I don't.
You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, and those of this vitamin G.
Like,
You rockin' with beats,
I'll give you
discussing the heat
100%.
in the
Like,
streets. Take over
I
the west and the east. I
100%
got what you
do
need, and
not
those of this vitamin G.
agree with someone making that game where you rape your mother. Oh yeah, the game is 100% wild, but at the same time, you can make a movie of doing the same thing, and I feel like if you can make a movie, you should be able to make a game. You know, that's kind of where I'm at. Because you have agency. Yeah, you have agency. Yeah, you're not passively watching it take place. You're actively participating in, you know. Yeah, I understand all of that, but still, I feel like video games deserve to have the same level of freedom that TV shows and movies and books get to have. Because you can walk into a school and read a book about somebody raping their mother, or you can watch a movie about it and it's perfectly fine. Even though it's very much in poor taste.
With beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G.
Doesn't look too wild yet, but yeah, the wife thing.
You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G.
Can he lick them? If you can't lick them, then it ain't wild. It's pretty tame.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
Oh, you got some jiggle physics. Okay, I respect it. Oh, I got the Kawhi steal. I just need a Harden steal now. I need OT. I need a stop. Then I need 105, 102, 25 minutes. I mean 25 seconds. 3 seconds. That's 20 seconds. The Clippers have the ball. They are up 3. So we need a stop. And we need a 3 to tie it up and go to OT.
You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west.
Oh, he missed it. He missed it.
You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need.
Game over. Yeah, no OT.
Take over the west and the east. I got what you need. A dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the
It's
heat
not
in the
like you
streets.
got set to take the
Dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need. A dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need. A dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
I should have took the Y for 30. Fucking bitch.
All alone.
Discussing that heat in the street, and we got just what you need on Vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts,
All right,
discussing the
we'll
heat
let
in
you
the
guys
streets. Take
go.
over the west and the east.
Y'all
I
have
got
a
what
good
you
night.
need, a dose of this Vitamin G.
All right.
You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose